It's should be good. All right. I'll let everyone jump into the stream. All right, there we go. Perfect. I like that the Mars Attacks thing is upside down in the corner. That's cool. Once again, still. Oh, there's a viewer. All right, still clearly shooting in full 16:9 aspect ratio. Unlike the Snyder Cut, this won't be an IMAX. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, well, maybe let me adjust it a little bit so I can at least get the front of this. Brian, I see you and your new co-host are all ready to go. Now that I've officially,
hi, Mark.
Now that I've officially been replaced, that's fine. I get to do more behind the scenes work. Everyone loves how much I'm just sitting here adjusting the camera right now. I just want to make sure I get you two new besties fully in frame. All right, perfect. Well, Brian, since you and Mark are ready to go, I'll go ahead and just walk away from this. Or I guess I should say welcome to the current viewer we have. The question is, which one is it? I don't know. Hello.
It's an Invincible Wednesday.
It is. Just hanging out with our good buddy here. Some of you may be familiar with Dick Grayson here. Oh wait, no, ooh, that's not his name. Mark Grayson. I still remember when I first was introduced to Invincible, like in 2010, when I was getting back into comics, and it was like, there's this Walking Dead book, this zombie thing that everyone loves. There's also this other thing from the same person that people also love. And I was just like, it's pretty ridiculous that at the same time someone can write ostensibly Superman, Dragon Ball, Spider-Man, and Walking Dead, and like both of them were just insanely successful. And both of them have actually ended now. Like I didn't think they. He said he'd never end Walking Dead, but whatever. I actually didn't think they'd ever end Invincible. Like they had Invincible Universe and all those other things. It seemed like no reason for them to get rid of it. But Mark's back. We are very excited to have a special guest this week as we get ready for the premiere of the Invincible cartoon coming straight to Amazon Prime on March 26th here. That's right. Excuse me. We still are a bad idea destination.
Are we an invincible destination?
But as well as being a bad idea destination, we are now an invincible destination. I don't know, whatever. The point is, we got a bunch of really cool promo stuff from Amazon and from Skybound Entertainment. Shout out Kirkman. He already owned this IP. Didn't have to worry about getting it in a contract. But we got this. We've got some awesome door clings for the March 26th premiere. We're gonna have another one up. It's gonna be, the shop's gonna be so invincible. We don't worry. This is actually super cool. They sent us a bunch of these 6-foot stickers.
The best one.
Yeah, no, like they'd sent us previously a giant poster that said like wear a mask, whatever. But like they sent us, the fact that they went out of their way to send us a bunch of these so we can actually put these down in the shop and you don't have to look at the square and be like, why is there a random red X and duct tape on the floor? So hey, unless you're invincible, stay 6 feet apart, please. Also, I heard Krispy Kreme's gonna give people donuts for the rest of the year if they get vaccinated. So, get vaccinated just for a donut. Or to be a considerate human being and take care of everyone else in the world.
And get a donut.
And I'll say it now, an overrated donut. Krispy Kreme. It's fine.
It's a donut.
It's more like a shadow of a donut, or like it's more of like a donut skin. Like there was a real donut inside of it, and this was just on the outside, and then someone fried it again and made it. They're delicious, but...
So let's see. So if Christmas shadow donut, does that mean that there is also Legends of a Donut?
There's definitely Legends of the Donut. There's...
Donut, Detective Comics.
There's Dark Donut.
No.
There's...
Legends of a donut.
Donut black and white. There's definitely Future State Donut. Yeah, as you said before, the next donut. Donut Beyond, very, very cool. Donut Academy. These are all the things.
My Little Pony Transformers trade paperback, did that come out this week?
I don't think so. I think it's next week, maybe. It's very soon.
I believe it's next week.
It's very soon. If anyone in chat knows when the My Little Pony Transformer trade comes out, let us know. I think it's next week. But
that might be the people we talked to last week.
I think that's exactly who it is. So beyond all of this awesome Invincible stuff at the shop, this cool swag,
So we do have we have a stack of like these posters that you could like.
There's a ton of those posters if you want. But most importantly, we do have from last week. We still have the Invincible new TV series printing. So this is a reprint of the first issue with a new cover as well as
some
cool stuff about the new animated series. So I do really appreciate that they've got the kind of a mix of Corey and Otley's art in here. But yeah, it is like once again just flipping over and being like, oh, that's right. Corey drew this book for a while, then Otley took over. So we still have plenty of copies of these if anyone would like to get their hands on that. And more importantly, if you have not read Invincible, or if you know someone who has yet to read Invincible,
or you watch the
or on March 26th you watch that first episode and you go,
and then you want to read the book.
You go, holy cow, that's good. Excelsior. Make mine invincible. What's the DC tagline? I always forget.
The original universe.
There you go. But yeah, so if you need to read Invincible, we've got nice trade paperbacks, which you can get this and then get like 20 something more, or you can buy the compendium.
Like 3 or 4 of those?
Like 5 or 6. I think this is the first 48, or is this the first 50 issues? This is issues 1 through, this is issues 0 through 47. I believe there are 3 compendiums out currently. We have, at least, I think I have all 3 here in stock. And then if you don't want to read this giant soft cover, you can also get these beautiful deluxe edition hardcovers, which these contain two of these go into one of these, and like 3 of these go into like one of these. We do also have volume 3 of the super deluxe edition ones up there. But like Walking Dead, they released Invincible in every format possible. So for volume 3, we still have the giant slipcase. I'm not sure what they call those versions. For the Chew versions,
the complete Invincible library.
That's lame, Kirkman. Come up with a better name. The Chew ones were called the Smorgasbord editions. That's very cool. But yes, if you have not read Invincible, thanks, Adrian. Yeah, March 30th for that Transformers Pony crossover. So if you want to read some Invincible, you can pick it up from us to get ready.
Adrian, we will be unbagging.
There will be. Personally, like to thank Adrian for stopping by the shop earlier today and dropping off some goodies for Brian and I, and the other members of Team Arcane, who will be enjoying some interestingly themed snacks. I'm very much looking forward to that sparkling water. We've got some gimmick Oreos to try, but we'll start the ASMR feed in a little bit. We got to get into some comics first. But so yeah,
you don't want to get the crumbs on the comics.
No. These, I'll get crumbs on my own comics, not on these comics for our readers. We respect them too much, Brian. But yeah, cheap shill, buy Invincible from us. Give us money for these, and then give more money to Bezos and watch this thing. Yeah. But realistically, watch this thing. If you gotta get it somehow, you can get it. I'm not saying this will be available on BitTorrent websites or on places like that. You definitely don't want to go there. I don't have recommendations for sites to check. I don't have recommendations for VPNs that you can get. What I would 100% recommend is you get that Amazon Prime membership, and you get ready, because the bit's over. Honestly, like, I think it's actually gonna be a really good show, and I'm super excited to get a bunch of people coming in going, "Hey, I just watched Invincible. Is there a comic?" And then we all just laugh at them, and then we go, "Yes, there is."
We laugh at them, and then as they're walking out the store, we
writing a poor review online. I went in and asked a very simple question, and they just laughed at me. We hang out with Daniel Nelson too much, Brian. That's the real problem. This is the Nelson effect. It's like, instead of a butterfly effect, it's the Nelson effect. We all just become more jerks.
So if Daniel flaps his wings on the other side of the world, that tsunami happens?
Yes, that's exactly what happens.
Daniel has wings?
He did previously.
Or does he only have wings when he drinks Red Bull?
It does give him wings. That's actually why he doesn't drink a lot of energy drinks anymore, except for Zoa. It's full of full of all that delicious mana.
So that's what he drinks? He drinks Slander? Is that the name of the thing he drinks?
No, I believe Slander, SLAND, drop the E, the R. That's the new Travis Scott one. Actually, Travis Scott did just drop some stupid new hard seltzer. I can't remember. He called it something stupid. But yes, thank you to everyone for always being kind enough to bring lovely things into our lives, like Zoa energy drinks, or some delicious treats that Brian and I will make sure to try later from Adrian. But I would like to say, before we get into it, Invincible. We'll talk about this more. But yeah, next week should be pretty cool. And like I said, 26th of March, hopefully a lot more people will be getting familiar with this svelte gentleman right here. But now that we've covered all of this sweet Invincible news, I guess we could talk about actual comic books that came out this week and not just cartoons that we're excited for. I mean, we could just talk about cartoons we're excited for. That Usagi Yojimbo cartoon on Netflix is going to come out, I think, hopefully next year. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I mean, if Stan gets paid, that's all that matters to me. And hopefully it also means people come and go, "I saw that cool thing. Can I read it?" That's all I ever want. I just want people to say.
People will see the thing and they'll wonder when the Ninja Turtles show up.
Okay. Episode 2. No, you just tell me it's season 2. It's in season 2.
Because obviously that's a Ninja Turtle character.
Clearly, we all are familiar with that character from the incredible action figure line.
Yeah.
Which thanks to you, Brian, I did finally fulfill my lifelong dream of having an Usagi Yojimbo Ninja Turtle action figure. I still need to 3D print all of his accessories, but Brian was kind enough, well over a year ago at this point, was kind enough to gift me an Usagi Yojimbo Lucy from the Ninja Turtle release, which I had wanted since I was a small child, since it came out, and I refused as an adult to spend money on it, like go look on eBay. That's not the point. The point is, if it was going to find its way into my life, it would. And it did, and it lives in the back now until very soon. I'm going to finally be moving a bunch of crap out of the back and have like a place to put everything. And I've already been thinking about how I'm going to set up all my action figures, Brian.
So you're moving out of your cardboard box that you keep in the back?
Yes, it's not gonna be in the cardboard box anymore. It'll go into a wood box, a much bigger wood box.
You're moving into a shed.
I mean, for some people, I guess they can consider it a shed. I'd like to think it's a nice spacious environment. I'll have my own office. It'll be nice. More importantly, Brian, Lee and I are gonna get some kitties. Ooh, I can't wait. It's been so long since we've had little buddies.
Just gonna steal the one that's kind of adopted you?
Okay, first and foremost, I would never advocate for stealing another person's cat. It's why in all of the times that we were lucky enough to be visited by our neighbor's cat, Willie Nelson, we did not feed him. We pet him, and then he comes in and hangs out. But no, funny story. He was hanging out with us the other night, and then outside of our patio, where our apartment is, it's on the common patio, And then his mom came down with the dog, and she was just like talking to us, and she knows that he hangs out in our apartment. She's fine with it, but she was like, "Oh, just so you know, we're actually getting ready to move out. So if you guys want to hang out with Willie a little bit more, that's cool." He had a sleepover. We had a slumber party. It was real fun. But sadly they are Kim and her pets Willie Nelson.
What's the dog's name?
Oh no. Willie Nelson has a sister. His sister's name is Dolly Parton. The dog's name, it's a corgi, and the dog's name is Snickers.
So it's not following on all...
No, but the fact that... So I believe the story is Kim adopted Willie Nelson and Dolly Parton when they were very little. They were rescues. So yeah.
Did the names come with the...
No, no way. Knowing my neighbor, no, she definitely named that cat Willie Nelson, and she definitely named the other cat Dolly Parton. And you have to say the full name. You can't.
So it's not like Hi Willie.
No. I mean,
Hi Dolly.
Well, it starts at that, but it's like then it's an animal, so naturally it just evolves or devolves into like the stupidest name ever. So I think the last time I saw him, it was like Willie Stinkbutt Nelson. I just like throwing in the like stupid things and then Nelson because it reminds me of our buddy Daniel, and then I just feel like I'm making fun of Daniel. So once again, slander on you, Nelson. That's what you get for being friends with us. But yeah, so unfortunately Willie and Dolly and Snickers and Kim, I believe, are moving out at the end of this week. So
maybe you can get together and have like visitation rights.
Okay, so technically I don't know if that might happen, but we talked with Kim. We're definitely going to keep in touch. We might set up a play date to go visit Willie. But yeah, sadly, we more than likely will not be seeing Willie Nelson again for a little while in person. But it just leaves the door open for us to finally adopt some of our own little friends, and we're at least going to start two cats to start. I'd like to think that maybe someday we might get little puppers.
Cats. Leah has 2 cats.
It might start that way. It's the real. So like the real story is the plan is we're going to adopt 2 cats. I will name one. She will name the other one. The real problem is I know us well enough, and I know myself that if we go into a rescue shelter and I fall in love with a cat who's bonded with another cat, and we're getting a minimum of 2. We're going to try to limit it to 2 to start. Whether that's 2 older rescue buddies or whether that's 2 little buddies, we don't know yet. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna be covered in cat hair, and hopefully in about a month, next time you see me on stream, I'll just be covered in cat hair and sneezing, and I have a mild allergy to cats. Yet I will never not have.
So you'll be constantly sneezing. I'll be constantly coughing.
Yep. But best case scenario, maybe. I'm not going to say it now. I was going to say maybe we'll just have some kitty cameos, but I'm not going to. I would never torture my animals by making them show up on a stream. That's not cool. Well,
not even ones from your house.
Well, I was going to say we'll just start a second account, Arcane Comics, and Kenshi's Pets.
Well, you already have a Twitch channel.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, but that's a different Twitch channel where I do nothing.
Yeah, and then you could.
I'll just change the name of it from Kenshi is Cool to
Cats Are Cool.
I guarantee you that's already taken. Trust me, Kenshi is Cool was definitely not taken on Twitch when I changed my name. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now as far as adopting animals.
It's KATS, the letter R, KEWL.
I believe that already is a non-profit organization. They collect cars and cats with kids.
They collect cars that have kids in them?
Yes, for cats. Just for cats exclusively.
So they give the car that has a kid in it to a cat?
Absolutely. That's exactly how this works, Brian. Keep talking it out. It only goes one way. But yes, Angela, hard agree. Cats are the best. I do love dogs. I love all creatures except snakes. No, thank you. They have the right to exist, just not around me. that is 100% an irrational fear. Like, I don't...
But what if you go to the animal shelter and there's a cat that you really like that has bonded with a snake?
That cat ain't coming home with me. I don't care how cute that cat is. That cat could have 2 butts. It ain't coming home with me. I don't care. I don't...
The world's cutest cat, and then it has a snake friend.
Pusheen could come to life as an actual cat, and if it bonded with a snake, I would not take that cat home. I do not enjoy sneezing either, but also, little cat, got little kisses. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'll deal with it. I'll get some. I'll just take some Benadryl. I'll get whatever shots I have to take. It's been too long since I've had any little buddies. And we could keep talking about this all day, but I suppose we should probably talk about comics.
Are you gonna name your cat Gilligan? Because it will be your little buddy.
Nope. I'll say it now. My cat is 100% gonna have a wrestling name. I'm either gonna name my cat after a wrestler, or I'm probably gonna name it after... No, who am I kidding? I'm gonna name my cat after a wrestler. That's not even a question at this point. Like, I don't... It's fine. I've gone down that road before. I think my last cat I co-named after two hip hop artists and an actual human being.
You're gonna get a cat named Doink.
I'm getting my cat's name is gonna be
Ultimate
Sean
Warrior?
Meowkles. The Heartbreak Kid. No, I'm gonna name my cat
Meowsles?
Meow. That's already taken. I'm gonna name my cat. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not giving up. I actually have a short list of names that cat's gonna be named. It depends entirely on the personality of the cat and on how what their name should be to me. But I have a strong belief that animals, cats in particular, should have one of 3 names. The first category of cat names should always be a mundane human's name. Apologies if anyone you know enough. A cat should be named Todd, Philip. Cat's
Todd
name
Phillips?
Todd Phillips would be very cool. A cat named Dennis would be very cool. Cat's named Agnes. That'd be very cool. Cats should have single human names of very mundane things. That's my rule 1. The second rule is you name a cat after food. So toast, mochi. I've met some cats named Matza. I think that's very cute. And then the third naming convention for cats should be the most niche, like, stupid nerd reference possible. Like, so you name a cat like something completely absurd that is only a reference that you and your partner or a handful of people might
get. So I
get.
can name the cat Equinox?
Yes. If you name the cat Equinox, Daniel and Jeremy and I would think that would be very funny. And everyone else in your life would go, what?
Anyone in the stream was even going to get that joke.
I was going to say, I don't know if anyone will. That's why it's good, Brian. That's exactly why.
I'm not even sure if you understand that joke.
I don't know what the Equinox is. I know who Equinox is. You don't think I know who Equinox... Brian, I've known you for how many years now? I definitely know who Equinox is. Jeez.
I don't refer to them as Equinox.
I know you don't, but that's their name, as was said in, what, one panel?
Not even in a panel.
Well, no, did they mention it in, like, an ad or something? Like, the coming of Equinox? Is that it?
It's on the cover.
Yeah, it's on the cover, and then that character is never referred to by that name ever. So yes, Brian, Equinox is the perfect name for you to give an animal. Because there are 5 people who will get that reference, and that is the best kind of referential humor.
Call it Flowers.
I mean, the real question is...
Technically the same joke.
Well, we all know that the cat's name would actually be Power Girl's Baby. The cat's name would actually, full name would be Power Girl's Baby.
It's PGB.
No, Brian, you have to say the whole thing. You have to go out there at night going, Power Girl's Baby! Power Girl's Baby, come get some dinner! Like, you gotta do that. Like, you gotta say the whole thing. Like Willie Nelson, or Dolly Parton, or whatever stupid name I'd name my next cat. I apologize to my cat in advance.
And then I can actually do the whole thing of, whatever happened to Power Girl's Baby? Have you seen Power Girl's Baby? I'm looking for Power Girl's Baby.
You're gonna make posters too with the cat on it. That just have you seen Power? And it's gonna be very funny. But yeah, no, Angela, you're right. Just take a pill, whatever. We have technology just so we can have kitties. That's the whole reason technology exists.
Do drugs get cats?
Jeez, Brian. I was like, wow. I was gonna say you just like you already have your own tagline. Now you just gave me my tagline. Cool. Cool things are cool. Do drugs get cats? Is that what it is?
Do drugs get cats?
I'm not gonna complain about any of that statement. That fits me. I'm good with that. Whatever I have to do to have more cats around me, I'm cool with that. What? Someone told. No, I'm not gonna advocate the use of hard drugs. This isn't my home state of Oregon where you can do anything you want there.
Pharmaceutical drugs.
Yes, as long as some giant multinational corporation is making money on it, then it's fine. Then it's definitely fine. As long as it's been monetized and removed from any sort of, population that created or cultivated this thing, as long as a multinational company is making money on it, I'm all in. Got any Bayer aspirin? It's the only one I can think of is Bayer right now.
Well, there's Tylenol.
Well, sure, which is owned by Procter & Gamble?
Possibly.
I think that's P&G. Yeah, there's 5 companies that own everything. Speaking of that, what about Marvel and DC?
I don't think they have any.
I think Kraft owns Marvel now. DC is definitely owned by the Keebler Elves. E.L. Fudge definitely is the EIC over at DC now. That's why there's all that great cookie content. I don't think they make any comics about cookies. They are going to make Fortnite comics, though.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Alright, what was that, about half an hour of us just wasting everyone's time before we actually talk about comics? Alright, cool. So like Scott wanted, and there's the break to segment 1. Hold for edit. And good. Alright, there's your edit point. We're doing edit points now, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, apparently we're going to chop this up later. I don't know. These are all things I've been told we're doing. Who knows what happens. But alright. We'll everyone say hi and bye to Mark for now. He will be back if you want to hang out. Just
bye, Mark.
Come stop by the store. Hey, don't worry, Brian. Oh, by the way, actually, isn't Steven Yeun doing the voice of Mark? Oh. So I don't think he sounds like that. It's cool, Brian. Don't worry. I'll see you on March 26th when you join me live on Amazon Prime Video. Thanks, everyone, and don't forget, buy all your comics at Arcane Comics and more. I'm out of here. Oh, cool. Thanks. See you, Mark. Thanks, dude. It's cool. I hope that stays pixelated. All right. I suppose we should actually.
Mark had to fly off to his home planet.
He did, and he flew back to his home planet, and on his way, his spaceship crashed. Everybody deserves a Poochie ending. All right. I guess we should probably consider thinking about some of the new stuff for the week. Let me check this real quick.
We'll have the Poochie cut.
All right, we're still all good on that. All right. Well, Brian, I'm gonna go ahead and say, give me 1 sec. Still slow. All right. I'm gonna try to just get this done. Just trying to get the stream quality up just a little bit. There we go. All right. Now that that's back to slightly normal, I kind of think we should go ahead and just start with the new this week wall. Or do you want to go to picks, Brian? That's the thing. We're.
I think some of the books people are looking for, at least one of those, is in the staff picks.
All right. Let's just jump to the picks then. Admittedly, there's some good stuff in here that's definitely worth just getting on the board now in case people want to start making some claims on some new stuff. Brian, do you just want to go ahead and start with those then?
Sure. Should we start with the big one?
Let's do it.
The big one that's alphabetically first?
Yeah, obviously. All right. So yeah, bunch of big books this week. In particular, literally the biggest book. Here, I'll just go ahead and.
You know, in space, no one can hear you scream.
No, but also, what's the black goo do?
What other vaguely jokes gonna do?
I don't know. This book mostly comes at night. Mostly.
Step away from her, you.
Whoa,
snitch.
Brian, no. That is not, Brian, that is not your word. Please, no, thank you.
Said snitch.
Ooh, yeah, no, snitches get stitches, Brian. No narcs here. I will say this. I do appreciate the canonical continuation of the inclusion of a cat in that book. Alright, I think that's enough stands to cover all the covers for this book this week.
So this is Matt's must-have.
So yeah, so Matt's must-have for the week is obviously Vault Comics' new... Wait, it's not Vault?
It's not Vault.
Oh, okay, well obviously it's... Matt, what else do you pick besides Vault? Honestly, dude. Like, you pick Vault Comics mostly, Daniel Warren Johnson. There, it's Better Ray Bills next week. Spoiler alert for Matt's pick. Alright, Brian, enough of this my terrible shtick.
It's Alan.
Matt's pick for the week is the new comic book, Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
It's-
Everyone's favorite character, Alan.
Wait, they made a comic about Alan Tudyk? I am 100% in for that. Oh. It's not spelled that way, is it?
Yeah, see, Alan.
It's a long walk to a terrible joke. Alright,
Make
so
any others?
I was gonna say, on brand for us as always. If there's anything we do, it's waste your time. But in any case, we do also like to present you with some great new comics that you can purchase from us.
So we have the main In Hook Lee cover.
So yes, there are
We have the
many
Peach Momoko
many.
variant
These
cover.
are all cover price variants. So if you are interested in getting a copy of
We
Alien
have
number
the
1,
Petra Gleason
ooh,
cover.
that is a very, very good cover.
We
What's
have
next,
the,
Brian?
We have the Todd Nook
Oh,
cover.
that is a phenomenal cover. Appreciate the detail work here. This is Alien, not Aliens. I'm just saying it's Alien. That should be there on the design. Sorry, it's that.
We
it's not on
have
that
the Scotty Young variant. And then we have the Finch.
Oh, and then that sweet David Finch cover. So that is all. No, oh, you know what? I had this out because there was a blank variant, so there were technically seven cover price variants for this book. So if you want all 6 of these, and I can find a blank, if you want all 7 covers, request it in chat, or request one of the covers. But yeah, Matt's pick this week was the new Alien comic as written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, who recently took over on Action and Superman and has been doing Last God. So I think Philip Kennedy Johnson has a bit of a kind of a fantasy background with some of their stories. But yeah, they're writing this. Salvador Lobroca is illustrating it. It is very much set in the world of Alien. I'm not entirely sure where in the franchise it's supposed to fit, because
Set in space.
yeah, it's definitely in space. But it's one of those things where Marvel has the rights. Predator's coming later this year. Shout out Big Money Ed Brisson writing that sweet new Predator comic. But yeah, a bunch of stuff that Dark Horse has had for a while. Marvel got back in the last couple of years. So this will not be the first, or this will not be the last
for
time.
Alien vs. Predator comic book from Marvel coming 2022.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. Predator shows up in issue 5 of Star Wars Bounty Hunters. Calling it now. The crossover's starting. But yeah, so if you want to go ahead and pick up a copy of this, it just starts like this. So we're back into that world. I do appreciate Salvador LaRocca is 100% understanding that there were actors who played these roles. So yeah, that's Lance Henriksen. Like he's 100%. We're going back. So this is 2200. There is Waylon himself. So we get back, we get some flashbacks, and then most importantly, we get some very cool cat action. All right, that's a
Catchin?
There's some catchin. There's definitely some catchin in that one.
You said the bad word.
I wasn't talking about Cat Shit Volume 1,
Oh.
which is a comic book that actually came out.
You said the bad word.
Uh-oh, Brian. Brian, you're a good boy. I don't think you should be reading that comic. But in any case, Alien is officially at Marvel now. We had those teaser variants all last month. Now we've got actual books with covers. That gorgeous Peach Momoko with the Queen on there. Gleason just continues to kill it with these ones. Also, Gleason did have a gorgeous cover you can see directly back here. We got plenty of those webheads. The Ted Knock, the Scotty Young, and then this gorgeous David Finch here. So whatever cover you need for Alien, let us know. We'll make sure to get a copy in your box for you. Let's slide these back just a skosh.
John Cena's in the show too?
It does kind of look like Cena. Oh, there it is. So yeah, there's just a really gorgeous looking matte black one here that you can add that blank to your list if you need it. I'm gonna just tuck it behind. What's funny is I keep forgetting that's the main cover because there's so many different covers. I just keep forgetting which is which. So here, I'll move it in front because I keep thinking that like this is the main cover because we've seen that image for quite a while now. All right, so whatever you need for Alien, hopefully you can still see the covers a little bit. Just let us know. We'll pull those for you. All right, Brian, what's next?
I don't know. Where do you want to go to next?
Why don't you grab whatever's on top?
Oh, that's you.
Oh, very cool. So my pick for the week, where's Jeremy's?
He's at the bottom.
Okay, so technically, my pick this week is also, Kenshi's Keeper is also Jeremy's jam for the week, because Jeremy and I have very similar taste with with a lot of things, but in particular, Jeremy and I both are just lifelong diehard fans of Riley Rossmo. So for our pick this week, both Jeremy and myself have picked Riley Rossmo. Thankfully, that means we get a couple books this week. So Riley and Joshua Williamson have the first story in Batman Black and White issue 4. There's a really nice story in here with them. We also get this awesome, I'm gonna skip ahead. There's this great Nick Bradshaw story here, but most importantly, for other fans of great art, there is an awesome Daniel Warren Johnson story in here. So once again, Batman Black and White continues to be a very, very good anthology book featuring incredible art by really strong creators. Gorgeous Becky Cloonan cover here. Is that like a Simone Bianchi cover probably? Who did the cover on that one? Yep, Simone Bianchi, and then a Delato cover there. But once again, I went with the Becky Cloonan cover this week because shout out Becky. Anything she does is great. Also, shout out Becky Cloonan, the first woman to draw the interior of a Batman comic, which happened in 2000 and like too late. I was like 2013 or something.
Becky Cloonan also does the backup story in action.
Yeah, Becky and her partner Michael Conrad are also taking over the writing duties for Wonder Woman currently, and then she's got the backup in that because it's
Midnighter.
That's right, it's the Midnighter one. Very cool. So the other book that Riley.
Michael Owen Emming.
Oh, Avon Oming's drawing it. Oh, interesting. I always like their work. He works with Bendis a lot, so I don't always read a lot of his work. But the other one, Alex, yeah, we'll get you a copy of Batman Black and White number 4. But the other half of the Riley pick this week is Harley Quinn number 1. Riley is taking over as the main artist on this book. So we've got the standard cover. We have this gorgeous, I'm going to say that's probably Derek Chu. And most importantly, we got the latest team variant for the week, and that is the Yoshitaka Amano team variant for this Harley Quinn #1. Similar to the Mark Brooks covers from last week, these are a limited item, so this is a...
2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, sorry. Mark Brooks was the 2 weeks ago. So that is... These are $9.99 or $5 for $40. But realistically, $10 for this gorgeous cover here. And the other one that we had, I believe, is there was a blank one for it. Unfortunately, we did already sell out.
There's a return of a classic Batman villain at the end of this issue.
At the end of this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But most importantly, I was into it the entire time, not for a return of a cool villain, but mostly because for whatever reason, I just adore Riley Rossmo. And so, great panel work like that. Really great character design. And thankfully, Riley is actually working on Harley Quinn, which I've been saying this to Brian and anyone who listened for like the past month. I think I really like Harley Quinn now. To their credit, the character never connected with me during any of the Connor and Palmiotti stuff. I really honestly didn't like the over-sexualization of the character. I didn't like the idea of this character as a token. I think for a lot of people, I fell in love with this character watching a cartoon. And so when that character was translated through Gotham City Sirens...
Because that issue, it's sort of she's trying to make up for her time being with Joker.
Harley Quinn is officially now I would say anti-hero. So they're very much framing it that. So they're very much framing it. But I think that
she's also kind of dealing with the fallout from the Joker War as people don't really like clowns in Gotham City at the moment.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But honestly, for me, the redemption of this character really started awkwardly enough during that Tom King Heroes in Crisis event, which I thought was terrible, but in particular, the way that book handles with Harley and Poison Ivy.
The Harley Poison Ivy book that came out directly after.
Yes.
I think does like a nicer way of resetting.
Yeah, I think in that Heroes Reborn book, Tom King very much sets up the idea that Harley and Ivy are a actual romantic couple that have for their entire lives been misunderstood by each other or by the other people and have kind of been forced into the role of villains. So there's some interesting kind of redemptive work that happens in that. And then that Jody Houser, I believe, was that who wrote the...
Possibly.
I think it was Jody Houser who wrote the mini-series, which explores them kind of developing that relationship. And then, contemporary Harley Quinn is very much about making up for the mistakes she's had in the past. She's trying to be...
The issue is that she's now trying to be on Team Batman.
Yeah, she's working with Bat. She immediately jumps into Killer Croc's space.
Because if you saw episode 1 of...
No problem, Alex. We'll get that for you.
Falcon Winter Soldier, there's definitely a sort of... Harley,
yeah, Angel, we'll make sure to get those taken.
Harley is on sort of the similar angle as what Winter Soldier is, sort of on a people who I've screwed over in the past, or people who, I need to make some amends, so I'm going to try to make up for my past indiscretions.
Yeah, no, Brian, I think that's a really good way of putting it. So it's like I said before, I've always enjoyed this character since their creation. The evolution of them, I just wasn't something I enjoyed. And honestly, the perpetuation of that kind of weird, like, over-sexualization of the character really, really pushed me away from them. But actually seeing them get a chance at redemption, and more importantly, a chance to reframe the idea of the character, where we're not retconning their past, we're just going, no, we've set you up from the beginning.
That they're moving past it.
Yeah, so I would definitely say if you're looking to get back into start Harley Quinn, or try something where maybe you also have enjoyed the character in the past, but haven't necessarily identified with a lot of the stories from the last
jump in on
decade.
The new era of Harley.
It is definitely a new era. I would 100% recommend though reading that Jody Hauser kind of 6-issue mini of Harley and Poison Ivy to kind of maybe get ready for them starting to reframe the character, and then also definitely check out the Future State stuff. I think that does also give some better context. And then most importantly, check out Batman Urban Legends #1 from about 2 weeks ago, because that had a really good Harley Quinn Poison Ivy story in it that I think at that point really made me go, I'm very interested in the story that Stephanie Phillips is going to be writing. So that's the other thing. I think Stephanie Phillips is a very good writer to take this character over. So yeah, ultimately, again, I'm going to say, read Harley Quinn this week. I didn't think I'd be making Harley Quinn my pick this week, but
Of course you were.
I was going to pick a Riley Rossmo book no matter what, but I didn't think I would actually be looking forward to reading it and not just looking at all the awesome art, which is typically what I do with some of his stories, because he writes characters, he's involved with characters sometimes I don't particularly care for, and then he does stuff like Dakin, and then all of a sudden Dakin becomes like my favorite version of Wolverine. I actually would rather read a Dakin book than a Wolverine comic. Wolverine's boring to me. Dakin's ridiculous character. All right, so yeah, if you want, anyone else wants to jump in on these, let us know. Angela will make sure we've got all the covers for you.
They're all in.
Cool. Got you covered on that. All right, Brian, what's up next?
If we go down the pile,
Ooh.
the next one is Scott's.
Ooh.
Pick of the week.
Very nice. All right, so Scott's scoop for the week is going to be
We only find them when they're dead. Volume 1.
Volume 1, the preview, or the, I can't remember what they call these. Yeah, basically, Boom is really, really cool, where a lot of their kind of premiere books, we as comic book shops, we actually get them about 3 to 6 months early. So this is a situation where in the past they released Coda a little early. I think they call them Discover Now editions. But for $10, you can pick up the first 5 issues of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. We do have all the singles still in stock in some printing or another. But if you want to just easily pick up a $10 trade right here. So for a lot of people who are not familiar with this series, think of kind of like a Neon Genesis Evangelion. Think of kind of like a book about giant Gundams, but we worship them. And essentially, this is following a crew who is harvesting material from these gods, as we say, these alien gods, and just kind of exploring that. But this is the first 5 issues of the series, so this is a great way to just pick it up and get going with it. And the nice thing is, like I said before, just $10 for these first trades. So
for 5 issues.
yeah, I mean those single issues were not $2. So if you want to get a nice trade, you can 100% pick that up today. All right. Excuse me. All right, let me just reload this real quick. Oh, sorry, Brian. I gotta refresh that page real quick. All right. So, do you wanna talk about your pick, since it looks like it's on the top of that pile right there?
Do we have another?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Or...
Yeah, Alex, the art in that We Only Find Them When They're Dead book is incredible. Simone DeMeo is the artist in this, but yeah, it's got that really gorgeous kind of modern coloring style. Reminds me a lot of, say, like a Dan Mora or someone like that. But yeah, just really, really dynamic, just gorgeous art in here. Actually, Juan Doe has a very similar style, but I'd say if you are looking for an interesting kind of sci-fi story, like I said, that has a lot of kind of Gundam influence or some Eva influence, that's going to be a great pick. Dave, yeah, Scott's checking on that right now. We should have an Ultra Mega #1 in there for you, but we'll make sure we get that in there. All right, Brian, you also had a big book this week. Another book featuring a beloved character from an animated show that has now finally made their first appearance. Well, they've already third appearance. But yeah, basically.
Technically, also technically the first. But...
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna keep futzing with these just to make sure Brian has room. But yeah, so I enjoyed a cartoon character that is now a a long-standing comic book favorite. And Brian, I'm on to the next one before you is already down for the next Harley Quinn, and I ain't talking Punchline. Dave, you got it in there for you. Brian, why don't you drop a gem on him?
What you mean in a blue ribbon?
Pardon me, Brian. Why don't you pin a blue ribbon on that pick?
So we have Teen Titans Academy #1. So we have the main cover. We have the variant cover, which does have Red X on there, but we also got in the
New printing, I guess?
technically new printing, what they're calling Future State Teen Titans Ruins.
Yes.
So this is issues 1 and 2 of Future State Titans, which is where the Red X character has their first official appearances in comic books. So you can get both issues in here for $6. That's technically not part of my pick, but since I was doing Teen Titans Academy, thought people might want to.
Did you pick Future State Teen Titans as your pick?
No.
Okay. It's more of a thing where I was like legitimately, I was like, did you actually pick that when it came out?
No, I was not trying to make Matt have the whole thing like, we're doing Future State every week. But yeah. So, Teen Titans Academy does. So, if you had read Future State Teen Titans, they had a flashback sequence to a party in, I think, the first issue of that. We actually get to see that party in issue 1 of Teen Titans Academy. That's technically not what the name of the academy inside the book is. Basically what the thing is that the Titans, so Nightwing, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, are creating a school for the next generation of superheroes, and that the official title of the school is the Roy Harper Titans Academy.
But Roy Harper is dead, Brian. I mean, no, that's a good name because Roy Harper's dead, and you name these things after dead characters.
Yeah.
Roy Harper's 100% dead, right, Brian?
Yeah.
There's nothing that has been published recently that would make you believe otherwise?
Yeah, because, that there totally wasn't that story in Infinite Frontier that possibly would conflict with that thing. But yeah.
Yeah, Brian, exactly. We all know that character's long dead, and they're definitely not in there anywhere. They're a dead character, and that's why they're being referenced, because they're dead.
So there's this 2-page spread in Infinite Frontier, and so issue 1 of Teen Titans Academy starts up right after this. So you actually get the boat coming to Titan Tower from the opposite perspective in issue 1. So it starts up right there. So Roy Harper's totally dead. Totally dead.
Definitely. Be dead.
And so the Titans, the original Teen Titans, it's mostly the new Teen Titans from the Wolfman Perez era. Those are the staff members of the Academy. And then the upperclassmen, as they refer to them, are the most recent group of Teen Titans. So that's Crush, Kid Flash, Red Arrow, Roundhouse, those type of kids. And so then we have the new group. So, on the kind of cover, we have Gorilla Greg, who is most likely from Gorilla City.
That's such a good name.
This is Stitches over there in the background.
That's also a good name.
So I think Stitches is possibly related to the character Ragman. They haven't exactly said, but it's trying to like. There are 3 characters that are from Gotham City. They collectively call themselves the Bat Pack.
That's very good. That's
Not the
very
Brat
good.
Pack, B-A-T.
Nope, they're the Bat Pack. That's very good, Brian.
That is
very funny.
Brat Girl. Yeah. And so it's Brat Girl, Ultra Bat, and
Ultra Bat?
yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
like Ultra Bat.
That's a terrible name. Where's
No, he's Mega Bat, not Ultra Bat.
Okay, Megabat's actually a
And then the
super cool name.
third member of their little kind of clique is Chupacabra. And they're
Yes.
sort of like the bully, kind of the tough bully characters in school.
Chupacabra, very good name.
Yeah. So, Miguel Montez, most recently of the Dial H for Hero series, is a student at the school. Billy Batson is also there, but they haven't shown that he's Shazam.
Is he actually Shazammed out?
No, he's just there as Billy.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, they're introducing a lot of new teen characters, also the teen characters that have kind of existed.
Well, so you were kind of said this earlier. You said originally you were, people like, oh, it's gonna be like Strange Academy.
It
and
is
then you were
more like of
this-
it's more like of the Avengers Academy that
Yeah.
Marvel book was doing a while ago. Which, if they kind of, they could easily go the angle of what that original series was kind of going on. That we're trying to create the next era, generation of Avengers, but that wasn't exactly why those kids were there.
Nope.
But yeah.
That was not why they were there.
So we have both covers of Teen Titans Academy, and that is $4. Whereas if you wanted to get the Future State Teen Titans Ruins book, that's $6. So $6 for 2 issues with the cool red X.
And would you like a copy of yours?
All right.
So then, just 2 more picks.
We got 2 more picks for you. So the next pickup we've got is Dave's Dish. That is featuring shop favorite of ours, Cena Grace, the co-written Getting It Together collected volume of Cena's most recent miniseries. This is the 4-issue miniseries. $15 gets you in this. Ooh, you even get the backup stories and more. But yeah, essentially this is a romantic comedy-esque, dramedy-esque story about some people just trying to live their lives as young adults in the world. I would
Do
say
they live in New York City? They have a group of like 6 friends in their early to mid 20s.
basically.
Living in New York City, they're dealing with the trials and travails of like trying to balance like a work life, personal life, with the love life.
Yep, that's basically it. It's the difference is I think it's in San Francisco, but yeah,
San
essentially,
Francisco?
yeah. But the idea is you've got interconnected people who are just trying to figure stuff out and who are loving and missing and going to rock concerts, and I mean it's very much a book that it feels like the type of story that exists in a world that Cena tells a lot of other stories. So I would 100% say I think the hook on this, it's like Friends if Friends was funny. That's my pitch for Getting It Together. It's like Friends if Friends was funny. So
So will
like
they be
coupling.
there for them?
They would.
Will
I mean,
they be there for you?
trust me, they know what they're doing. There's a reason the cover looks like that now, Dave. You got exactly the point they're trying to make with this. But if you enjoy some very good stuff, oh.
Yep.
There we go. All right, we back. All right, glitch gone. But yeah, very much so. If you enjoy stories of human beings in their lives trying to figure it out, that's 100% what Getting It Together is going to be like for you. And then the last pick for the week is going to be Dylan's Dynamite. Shout out Dylan, making a return to the shop yesterday, helping us out again in the back end, helping us organize all this junk back here. But yeah, Dylan, it's great having you back, and we're very, very glad to have you, and we were extra glad to have you have this pick this week. So Dylan's Dynamite for the week is Delicates.
The sequel to Sheets.
Yes. So if you had read Brennan Tumler's Sheets, I believe maybe last year, the year before, you probably fell in love with those characters. But this is very much the story of a middle schooler trying to just fit in while also being haunted. But yeah, I very much, if you are looking for some really nice stories about characters just trying to figure it out, especially younger people, Delicates is going to be a continuation of that narrative that Brenna started back in Sheets. So I would 100% say if you picked up Sheets, you definitely need to pick up Delicates. And if you have not picked up Sheets, maybe you should. We'll see if we can get some more back in stock. But yeah, again, just beautifully illustrated, gorgeously rendered world. I would 100% say for any young people, this is very much going to be a book that hopefully you can find something in. Who are you looking for?
James's Marvel previews.
Just grab one back there. I don't think we pulled one for him. There's just one there. So yeah, so these are officially our picks for the week. As always, if you see anything up here, please let us know in the comments, and we can get this stuff either added to your box or to a poll. But yeah, that is the picks for the week. Once again, Matt's must-have: Alien #1 from Marvel, Philip Kennedy Johnson, Salvador LaRocca, taking us back to that world that old man Ridley tried to kick me out of, and I don't care, Ridley Scott. You can keep making bad movies with these characters that you made. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. But yeah, no. If you need Alien's back at Marvel, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Alternatively, if you would like to get something that does not feature 7 covers this week, you can go ahead and just pick up Batman Black and White, which only features 3. Got some great stories in there from Riley Rossmo, Daniel Warren Johnson,
But if they picked up
Nick
Harley
Bradshaw,
and Batman Black and White, all 3 things,
oh, that would be awesome.
they'd have 6 covers.
They would. You could get all of them. Oh god, I forgot. There's this gorgeous Carl Kerschel story in here too. I mean, like, realistically, Batman Black and White is 1000% the Batman stories I want. I like short bits with Bruce. I like little vignettes, and most importantly, I just love the idea of artists just getting to do what they want with the character, especially artists like Daniel Warren Johnson. I mean, and then like check out this Nick Bradshaw art. It's just like seeing this in color would be worse. So I got to say big shout out to this. Also, Simone DeMeo has a story in here, so you could pick up the whole lot this week. But definitely, if you're getting Batman Black and White, think about Harley Quinn #1. Scott's Scoop of We Only Find Them When They're Dead Volume 1, just $10 for the first 5 issues. Brian's Blue Ribbon with Teen Titans Academy, as well as that reprint of both issues of Future State in one single book for $6. $6 gets you both issues, which is a really great deal. Dave's Getting It Together trade, so, friends, but funny. And then Dylan finished it out with the sequel to Sheets with Delicates this week. So we'll leave these up here, and then right now we're going to hit a second edit point. There it is. All right, edit point. I guess we could talk about everything behind us, if anyone's interested. No? No one cares? Okay, wrap it up. Do you want to talk about him, Brian?
Sure.
Oh, I take that back. Rewind. Brian is not done with the stream yet, so I'm going to go ahead and
I didn't say
say...
I wanted to do it on live stream.
Oh, okay. Live stream is over. We're just going to do this for ourselves. Alex will 100% get one of these set aside for you.
I was wondering comics.
I know you do. Well, speaking about talking about comics on stream, Brian, do you want to introduce us to the New This Week wall with that great #1 slot? The Infinite Frontier premiere of Action Comics number
1029.
1029. Jeez Louise.
So that is first Infinite Frontier book back in the main thing. It is the what is it's Philip Kennedy Johnson. That's what. And so the guy who's also writing Alien is writing Action Comics and also Superman with Phil Hester on art. So this is technically part 2 of the story that he's telling in the Superman books. They don't actually tell you that in the front. Well, like, technically tell you in the front right there, saying that it's part 2, but they don't tell you where that you have to go to part 1 in another book, which is a little annoying. Because if you didn't read Superman last week, then you are possibly a little lost. When I was looking at this, I almost felt like, did another issue of Superman come out? No, this is Action Comics.
Nope.
And then in the back, we have the Midnighter, which is the Becky and Michael W. Conrad with Michael Evan Oming.
So 2050 Fox is a movie studio that has owned the rights to things like Alien and Predator, right?
And then we also have the back cover.
They still have the license, right? It's their property. So movie studios both own intellectual property and just distribute films. So
And
Fox.
that is the Julian Trotino Tedesco.
Oh, that is a Tedesco. Okay. Does it have a little TT signature?
Yes, there's the little
Okay.
TT.
That's how I've learned to tell Tedesco apart from.
Other people that look like his art?
Yeah, there's a couple artists that have a very similar style that I look at that and thankfully I can recognize signatures enough now.
So we have issue 62 of the Amazing Blue Beetle.
That's not what that is.
That's totally the Blue
That's
Beetle.
not, Brian. That's a different company. Come on.
It's totally
man.
Blue Beetle.
Brian, you know comics. That's not Blue Beetle, dude.
It's bug themed and it's blue.
No, it's obviously Impact Comics The Fly in a recast or
That's The Fly.
That's The Fly. Thank you. It's the
The
Impact
Fly
Comics crossover with
and
DC.
Blue Beetle.
It's Blue Beetle and The Fly.
It's totally
Also,
Blue Beetle. See, he's got
The
a
Fly-
bug
The
on the
Fly
front.
was a fun comic. Shout out Impact Comics. Shout out Continuity Comics. Shout out Ultraverse Comics. What are some other 90s dead indies that I used to read?
So yes, Spider-Man does have a new blue themed costume, which may be around. It's definitely the costume of the moment. Who knows how long he'll have it? We don't know. But at least for this current storyline. And then we have one of this month's Marvel variant themes is 50 Years Man Thing. So this is the Greg Land Spider-Man thing?
Yeah, that's it.
So we have part 5 of the Barbara Alien Red Planet.
I think that is the last issue in that miniseries. And I think so. As of now, I think the only thing that's coming out for Black Hammer is Visions until they start. I saw the announcement for the 3rd volume because we have Black Hammer, then we had Age of Doom, and I think the next one's like Black Hammer, like Return or something.
Don't know. It was in the most recent previews catalog.
Yes, it was.
So main cover, and then we have front cover. We have issue 16 of Batman Superman. So I actually looked at this one and I thought it was kind of interesting.
I'm curious in that one only because I know that's the one that Gene Luen Yang is writing, and I think he's been a very good Batman or Superman writer for a while.
So
he just never gets
I will
right
say
thing
two
Superman.
things. If you like alternate reality stuff,
Oh,
pick it up. Also, if you had been enjoying WandaVision, because there is there's two different stories that are all along 2 different film strips, which you can read together or separately.
that's very cool.
But there's also very retro sort of.
Well, speaking of WandaVision, Brian, don't forget to check out my new cartoon streaming on Amazon Prime Video on March 26th. Okay, cool. Bye!
Bye, Mark.
I'm gonna do the voice differently every time. I don't know what Stephen Ewan's voice sounds like. Stephen Ewan just sounds like a generic dude.
So
I
yeah.
don't know, is there a voice? I haven't seen Minari yet. I can't do the Stephen Ewan voice from Minari because I haven't seen Minari yet.
So I thought.
Everyone
this
should watch
was
Minari.
Was a very kind of interesting first issue, but it also should be interesting to see where they kind of take the rest of the.
So,
Story.
Brian, at what point did you realize this was like a what if story? This morning or yesterday?
Well, I kind of looked at the cover and it was like, oh, and so then when I looked at it yesterday.
Okay, because this sounds like the exact type of thing that you would have made your pick if you had if this hadn't caused I'm surprised that random issue of Batman Superman wasn't your pick if it's a weird what if thing. Or a seemingly like a what if thing.
Yeah. So
That's cool. That is the first of the Infinite Frontier releases for that book, right? Okay. We haven't seen the second issue yet. We've only seen the first issues, correct?
Yeah.
I think because Batman hasn't had 107 yet. Detective is gonna.
So
Okay.
next month, and so this is the Greg Smallwood cover.
Yeah.
We have issue 6
6 of 6.
of the Batman White Knight Harley Quinn.
So that should conclude the miniseries of Single Mom Harley, and then hopefully leads into I believe what will be the 3rd part of the White Knight trilogy, which I don't think Murphy's announced quite yet, but it's definitely, I mean, it's coming. We all know that. Holy crap, Brian! That can't be an issue of Black Panther?
Yeah.
No. We only get 1 issue a calendar year now. God forbid we get the penultimate issue of Ta-Nehisi Coates' run, his 50-issue run on Black Panther. No. That's obviously not Black Panther. That book doesn't. We already got an issue this year. We got 1 issue in 2020. We got 1 issue in 2021. I'm sorry. I'm excited. Black Panther's finally back.
So here's the main cover. We have the Women's History Month.
That Jem Bartel Shuri cover is
Shuri cover?
fire. And then, oh man, that Cho two-tone.
Show two-tone. And then we have the Joe Quesona's.
No shade thrown at you, Joe. Joe Quinones is a great artist. Brian's, but oh man, you put a cover out the same day that Jem Bartel put a fashion cover out, and that Michael Cho. That's hard to get noticed in that pile there. But a bunch of good covers for the penultimate issue of Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther run, which, again, I'm hoping that in the book all the black characters in Marvel are also hanging out with him, or that's not just a token cover by Daniel Acuna. But I'm also literally 2 years behind reading Black Panther, because I didn't read any Black Panther issues in 2020. And I did not read any this year, so I am at least a full calendar year behind on Black Panther.
Yeah, but there's been 2 issues in the last 2 years?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know, it's fine.
So it's not like, oh, you haven't read it in 2 years and you have like 24 issues to go.
I may or may not have more than 2 issues, but I definitely haven't read it. I didn't read a single issue of Black Panther in the calendar year 2020.
So we have Blade Runner Origins, which is
Not
different,
Blade Runner 2049.
which is not Blade Runner 2019 or 2029.
No. Or 2027 as it was incorrectly in the system. Yeah, Adrian will get that for you.
So we have the main cover, which is Beach Monaco cover, and then we have the Angel Hernandez parent cover.
Someone else is going to request it because it's $10. I just don't want to go grab more.
Adrian doesn't have
She doesn't have a palette.
We have issue 9 of Cable.
He did not ask for that.
He just put
Put a
it
heart on it. But
So the series will be coming to an end at issue 12, which so sad since I've actually been kind of enjoying Cable.
You've really been digging Cable, man. You've been talking about how much you've enjoyed that book since the beginning. Like, the only reason I know about what's going on in Cable and that he's dating one of the Cuckoos is because you are telling me everything that goes on in that book.
I've also sort of enjoyed since it is art by Phil Noto, who I just mainly consider to be a cover artist, but it's sort of interesting seeing Noto doing the inner stuff.
Brooks, 3 Amanos.
So this is it's Jerry Duggan. I think that's Duggan's first name.
but it's got to be a 2-3 split, right?
Not 4-1.
Not 4-1. It's got to be a 3-3 split. Don't feel
So
So I take it James didn't. He bought it somewhere else. Did he say?
yeah. Somehow it gets
so
Editor had it.
slight spoilers of stuff. Gable is currently on the hunt for Strife, and so he in this issue
Wait.
he's
It's not. Is it Strife as we already canonically know Strife? This isn't this Cable
no this
clone
is they
also from the future.
they basically have like shown Strife hasn't shown up. He's just known that Strife is out there doing some stuff.
Holy crap, Brian!
But
Pierce Brosnan is gonna play Dr. Fate in the Shazada movie. Sorry, I know you're a big fan of Dr. Fate, so.
I think Jeremy's probably bigger.
Jeremy's definitely a bigger fan of Dr. Fate, but I know Jeremy's not watching the live stream
Yes.
because Jeremy's not on Facebook. But as the other person in the shop who I know is a fan of Dr. Fate.
So the interesting
That'll be
is
cool.
that
Blade Runner for Angela.
Yeah, cool.
that while looking for information, Cable meets up with Magic and they are looking in other dimensions. So they know Magic, and so they visit a demon that essentially is being tortured by Magic. And we find out what that kind of torture is. Essentially, you have a bunch of demons on recorders who are playing and singing 500 Miles by the Proclaimers.
Sorry, that's very funny to me.
Yes. So just like, well, so essentially there's a demon in hell and Magic is ruler of this area of hell, and so how is she torturing this demon by playing, getting a whole bunch of demons to play recorders and at least have one of them sing, 500 miles.
That's very good. That sounds like torture.
So they don't really tell you how well the demons are playing on their recorders. Just that's what happened. So one of the other bigger books from the week is Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. So we had the Gleason variant cover for that, which is sort of a homage to the other cover that Gleason has done. I think that was, he's might have been 56. I think that was. Kenshi, what was the?
Oh, sorry.
What was the Spider-Man one? Was that Amazing 56?
55, I believe.
55?
55. So here.
Because there's been 4 different versions of that cover now. So that's the Gleason variant. We have the Ryan Otley variant of that, and then
yeah, Patrick, you can say you can say Patrick Gleason got paid to draw one thing. So it all started here, and then we got this one, and then we got this one, and then we also have this one. So if you like this image, Gleason's gonna be drawing this stuff for a while. There's a Man-Thing webhead cover which looks sick. But yeah, if anyone's still interested, we do have.
This is the Sarah Pacelli main cover.
We still have some first printings of ASM 55, $25 for that. We have ASM 55 second printings, cover price. Second printing ratio variants, $125, and third printings. Right there. So if you need to get this, we've got all of them still somehow.
So the Carnage, Red, White, and Blood, which is similar in nature to the Batman Black and White kind of series.
Or the Wolverine Red, White, and
Blood series, or similar in nature
red,
to.
Red and Black and Blue. Sorry,
Superman Red and Blue.
Then there's the Superman Red and Blue one, and then we're. And then there's the Wonder Woman one that's coming out, and then there's also the Harley Quinn Black, Black and White and Red.
Yep.
That's also there. So this issue has a Teeny Howard story with art by Ken Lashley, Benjamin Percy with Sarah Pacelli on it, and then the third story is Al Ewing with John McRae. So. Everyone wants to see Carnage on a horse.
There's some interesting stories in that for sure. I mean, that's the thing with anthologies like that is, you know, even if it's not.
There is a Choose Your Own Adventure Carnage.
All right, so plenty of covers available still for that. Next up, we have the first issue of Cold Dead War, which some people might be interested in because George Romero actually wrote this comic. Romero's been working with heavy metal, but yeah, you know, it's starts off like a nice traditional story, just set in, you know, an older town, and all of a sudden, 1945. There's some other things happening in the world. And realistically, what this ends up becoming is, there you go, zombies. That's what we were all waiting for. Yeah, basically George Romero doing zombie comics set in the World War II era.
George Romero doing a zombie comic?
George Romero doing zombies? What? I think the big difference thing with this though is, it's interesting because Romero is very much, I think, the person that a lot of people create any sort of modern zombie mythology off of. It's a lot of that stuff. So this is clearly, he's pulling from his own kind of mythology and the idea of maybe the ability for the evolution of the Walking Dead. Not the Walking Dead specifically.
Are they trapped in a mall?
Not in this one, but most importantly, what you're finding in here is humans interacting with zombies and zombies actually being able to respond. Obviously, George Romero did die. This is something that I want to say is from is it the kid who's writing it? Is that what it is? Like his son, or it's either a thing where that.
Well, George Romero is known for zombies, so I don't think being dead should stop him from doing it.
Realistically, it shouldn't preclude him from continuing this. But Nelson, do you have some more information on this one in here? I'm usually pretty up to speed on this. You actually had this on your pull list this week as a sub. But it is a heavy metal issue, so we didn't get a ton of these. But with a lot of the new first issues from some of the publishers we don't normally carry a lot of, we're trying to at least get some quantity on them. So continuing on, we've got a comic book history of animation number 4 came out this week. So continuing on with the really Fred Van Lent, very nicely done kind of just
so all of those
history.
Are like sort of
self-contained,
but they are sort of going through along like a timeline.
Yeah, so this is them talking about Saturday morning cartoons. So this is easily an issue you could just pick up as like a one shot.
You don't have to read issues 1, 2, and 3 to understand 4.
Yeah, it doesn't set. There's not a narrative they're setting up. But realistically, Van Lent is doing a great job of actually taking history and making it very accessible, with providing a lot of great context here. But yeah, like Brian said, this you kind of get the history of a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons. And the great thing is, you don't have to have read anything before this. You can just kind of pick these up. I think we have some collected volumes of the first ones of these, because he did comic book history of, is it comics or just comics?
I think comics, and then they've done a couple other different comic book history of topic.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if maybe they've got the ad for the other volumes in here. Oh man, I can't wait for part 5. Anime conquers the world. I like the Miyazaki Totoro mashup. All right, so speaking of things that are not standalones, the 1034th issue of Detective Comics is out. If you have not read 1 through 1033, don't even pick this up.
Well,
don't even pick it up.
Batman shows up in issue 27, so you could probably skip the first 27.
Well, I don't know. That's when he's really figuring it out. So there we go. That's why it's George C. Romero, not George A. Romero. Nelson, this is why I asked you, because I knew you would have that.
So where's George B. Romero? If there's a George A. Romero and a George C. Romero, where is George B. Romero?
Still filming Leonard parts 1 through 4. But yeah, Daniel, thank you for that very
all the
informative.
other Buckaroo Banzai movies.
That would be so cool if they actually came out. Oh man, that'd be awesome. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the C part made me think it wasn't the main Romero. But yeah, so if anyone wants to conclude or to continue that great story that Daniel has mentioned below, pick up the comic, like Nelson did. You can also pick up the 1034th issue of Detective Comics. That's got a gorgeous Lee Bermejo cover on it. But most importantly, this is the beginning of the Mariko Tamaki Dan Mora run on Detective. So Mariko has taken over the writing duties. So
this includes part 2 of the Robin backup story.
Yes. So if you in Batman 106 read the backup in that, you would want to get 1034 because you've got the Joshua Williamson, the Gleb Melnikoff Robin story, which will ultimately turn into the Robin 2021 title that I know Melnikoff is working on now. But like Brian said before, if you read Batman 106, you're going to want to pick up Detective 1034 for Demon or Detective Part 2. That is... Oh, okay, so without spoiling anything, continued in Robin number 1. So pick up Batman 106, pick up Detective, and then get ready for that new Robin series coming out.
So Alex, yeah, we can get you a copy of Detective.
Yep, got one for you, no problem, Alex. No, Sylvia, that was me just being like, George Romero wrote it. A. Romero wrote it. Technically, C. Romero wrote it. But yeah, it was also a thing where in my head I was like, didn't he die? But yeah, this is why we have people in chat to actually provide us with information. Well, continuing on this week, after we get this detective set aside for you, Alex, we've got the continuation of the Dune House Atreides.
Issue 5.
Issue 5. So this is the official adaptation of the Brian penned, not this Brian, but Brian Herbert's Dune prequel. So this is the continuation of that adaptation. And speaking of continuing, Brian, are you caught up on Excalibur now?
Yes.
So you got a chance to read this morning?
Yeah.
Brian, you are fully caught up on Excalibur 19?
Yeah. It's the only X-Men book that's even talking about Fallout from Swords of X.
So that's the only one that still is dealing with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Does it feel like, do we get any tease for Hellfire Gala yet?
No.
Okay. Because that is the next big event. We got Hellfire Gala, which I believe is going to be the entirety of all the May releases, excluding Cable and one other book. But yeah, so Excalibur continues on. Teenie Howard's still on that book. Marcus Toe still drawing it. So if you had read this prior to Exoswords, you read it through Exoswords, this is where you want to keep going with that. All right, Brian, what's hanging out down at 15? I can't quite see that from that cover.
It is the new Firefly book.
Oh, so Firefly new something?
The brand new verse.
Brand new verse, that's what it is. So yeah, we are generationally taking a big step forward with the Firefly universe. Mal, I don't believe have they officially given the ship over now? Because basically the star of the book is Wash and Zoe's kid. So obviously she's wearing Wash's shirt. It's funny, yesterday I literally had to have Scott tell me that. I was like, it's Gina Torres's character. Because I forget, it's the thing, it's like, I don't look at her and I see Zoe, I see Gina Torres. Like, it's also a thing where, like, if Wash wasn't Wash, I'd be like, it's Alan Tudyk. Those are the only two people I care about from that show. That's not true, Nathan Fillion's great. Those are the only three people I care about from that show. Ooh, we've got a big issue with Guardians of the Galaxy this week.
So this is issue 12, and then issue 13 is when they do the big...
The new team.
Well,
yeah.
New team or new teams, depending on...
Two teams? There's like 3 of them.
Well, I think there's 3 different covers. And so they have to... there's like 6 people on each cover.
Yeah, well, because the whole idea now is that the Guardians, like the Avengers, they need to get bigger because they need to actually be the Avengers for the galaxy. Of space. So they got to put a bigger team together. So most importantly, Al Ewing, who writes this, who's been writing Immortal Hulk,
who also does Sword.
That's what they're working on now. So Al Ewing has now shifted his focus back to space. He's still killing Hulk, but he's left and he's going back to space. So for some of us who read Ultimates, that was kind of our first introduction with Ewing. So the idea of him telling stories of superheroes in space, cool. But yeah, I would definitely say that for anyone who has been enjoying his kind of galactic stuff, it might be worth going back and starting over, reading the first 12 issues of his Guardians run, because he takes the book over from Donny Cates after he had his run with it. So this is now Al Ewing's been kind of building to this for a while. I think the first 12 issues felt like him kind of dismantling.
And the little preview thing for next month. They were soldiers, misfits, mercenaries, thieves, and family. They were heroes, but times have changed. The galaxy no longer needs heroes. It needs superheroes. Now when the call goes first, the Guardians of the Galaxy answer. New artists, new headquarters, new costumes, new teammates. And an all-new enemy you'll have to see to believe.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a big thing, and I'd say based on the success that Ewing had with Immortal Hulk, I'd really like to hope that Marvel is just letting him tell something pretty big there. So I'm really curious to see how that book kind of keeps to develop. So what do we have hanging out next to Guardians?
We have Gung Ho Sexy Beast number 3.
Oh, okay. What's really funny is
that's the variant cover. I think we're out of the main cover.
Well, what's really weird is like that book is like it has such a specific, distinct art style that I feel like the covers never do it justice. It's actually like a really interesting art style that is that looks nothing like that.
cover.
And then yeah, look at that
Interior
that
art.
gorgeous kind of like stylized stuff. Like it's just a weird like it's just a weird disconnect for me. But yeah, so if you've been keeping up with that series, we've got, you know, this is volume, I think, 3, 2, at least 2 or 3 maybe on the Gung Ho stuff now. But yeah, that continues. Let's keep going on. Blaze is, I think that's
No,
putting that out.
this is the A cover.
Okay, so yeah,
It just
I think the interior artist gets like the C cover, maybe the B cover. It's one of those weird things where it's like, it's such a drastically different art style. Like
they have the D
the
cover.
they get the D cover. They don't even get the B or the C. Jeez.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We have haha.
Number 3. So this is the Roger Langridge issue.
Yes.
If people aren't familiar, every issue of Haha is a standalone. Same writer, but a different artist. So number 2, we had Zoe Thorogood. And so yeah,
And
for 3
here's
we get
the back cover.
get gorgeous Roger Langridge cover or Langridge issue. So I'm gonna assume it's a little bit more of the kind of slapsticky, maybe a little. Is that
It is a mime
a mime, a Marcel Marceau kind of style mime?
who meets a robot.
Oh, okay. Mimes versus robots. V cool.
Well, it's more mimes and robots versus the world.
Oh, very much so. All right. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the first 2 issues of Haha or are enjoying Ice Cream Man, once again, standalone issues. If you think it's cool, just go ahead and pick it up.
There is an issue of Haha coming up that will have the art team from Ice Cream Man as the art team on Haha.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, so we've got 3rd issue of that. We did also get second printings of number 2 for Haha, continuing that art style that they did with the second printing for number 1. So that we do have those out on the shelf. And then I'd say the other, what's up next, Brian? We have our 1 entry into the King in Black this week.
We have Scream.
All right, and that I believe that's a 1-shot, right?
Sure. It doesn't tell me in the back.
I feel like that is a 1-shot.
Yes. Scream.
Everyone's second favorite symbiote?
Well, probably everyone's favorite, female symbiote. Unless, they're big fans of She-Venom. Who I don't think is really a thing, but yeah. Yeah. So, let's see. So, Clay McLeod Kaplan is the writer, and then Gary Brown kind of has some interesting sort of art on the inside. And so we're getting really close to
Oh yeah, I believe that is April 7th.
yes.
So
Not
two
the
weeks from now.
324 as it says here. It's
No, definitely that. Yeah, so King in Black has been taking its time. So I believe next week we get King in Black Ghost Rider number 1, King in
Beta
Black.
Ray Bill.
We get Beta Ray Bill number 1, and then King in Black Return of the Valkyries number 1. But yeah, that Beta Ray Bill number 1, that's gonna be one heck of a book. I'm really looking forward to that.
We have issue 1 of 5 of Lady Baltimore,
All right,
the
so
Witch Queens.
more returning to the world of the Baltimore, the Magnolia Golden stuff.
Which is stories by Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden.
Yep. So Magnolia and Golden continue to just keep writing stories in that greater Magnolia verse with the Baltimore character. Apparently this is now the Lady Baltimore character.
Lady Baltimore.
I am not caught up at all with that, so I'm going to assume it's probably their daughter. I don't know. It tends to be how it works. Or maybe it's a prequel and it's his mom. But
Or his wife.
or there you go, or a sister,
Mhm.
some relation to Baltimore.
Lord and Lady Baltimore.
There it is. Of the Baltimores.
Of the Baltimore.
The Baltimore. All right, Brian. What issue of Maestro Warm Pack's that?
That is issue 3.
Okay, so we are officially halfway through, because that's going to be another 5-issue mini, I assume.
If they do the same amount from both sides, we're about halfway through.
Okay, cool. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 24. We are.
So,
oh yeah.
Maestro does have a pretty cool.
Don't let me show off that sweet Jimenez variant.
Yeah. Sadly, nothing like this happens in this issue.
Sadly.
But it's still a really cool cover. So, Miles Morales 24.
We are 1 issue away from that sweet new Clone Saga.
Yes, Miles Morales is getting his very own Clone Saga.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. He's going to have a sweet cut-off sweatshirt. Some really great, like, wrist gauntlet things that I guess were for holding extra webbing cartridges, I guess. And then, like, bandolier. I don't know. I want a really cool looking clone of Miles to look like that stupid clone spider.
And then we have the Miles Morales
that's all I want.
Spider-Man thing.
Another good one. The Man-Thing covers this week were a lot better than that terrible phoned-in one from, what was that, last week? That one was not good.
Yes.
Just was, like, lazy.
They've been like, it's been 50-50 for a number of months.
Yeah.
Well, probably like more, 70.
More like 70-30, yeah.
There've been like 1 or 2 where I'm like, do you even know what Man-Thing looks like? There's some like distinctive parts that you don't just color the character green.
Yeah.
So we have Once in Future, the Karen Gillan Dan Mora book, issue 17.
So that, yeah, somehow
So
I
Dan
thought that
Mora
book.
is also on Different Comics.
What's funny is I thought that was only going to go 15 issues, and so it clearly has done well enough that it's an ongoing now, I guess.
Or they'll go to 20.
Yeah, fair enough.
We have Paranormal Hitman number 2.
Oh, sweet. We finally got our restock on number 1 A covers, so we do still have copies of Paranormal Hitman number 1 available.
We have Post Americana number 4.
Ooh, so we're getting, I think, close to the end of that miniseries. Steve Skroce just continuing to just do all sorts of insanity in that one.
We have Power Rangers number 5.
Ooh, all right.
Along with the Legacy variant.
There you go.
So... we have a new number 1 from Scout Comics, Rabbit World. Not Rabbit, but Rabid.
Be some cool eyeballs in that for you.
Kinda looks like it. Dealing with animals and people going a little feral. So we have Savage Avengers number 19, which ties in with King Black. So we have the main cover and then the duotone
Ooh, that Cho variant.
Joe Black Widow variant. We have Scumbag number 6,
which is a perfect release because the Scumbag trade paperback for issues 1 through 5, which we'll get to a little bit later, did also come out this week. So you can very easily get caught up on the latest Rick Remender series.
Shadow Doctor 2.
So that is the second issue?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. If anyone's interested, we do still have copies of that first issue, so if you want to pick up that one, I'd say definitely check it out. Interesting story about a black doctor in Chicago during an era when they weren't really allowed to practice medicine, so they have to become a mob doctor.
Yeah. So Star Wars
And
Adventures.
it's written by like his grandson, which is one of the more interesting points.
Star Wars Adventures #4. So we got.
And that's a standard one. That's not the High Republic one. This is just standard Star Wars Adventures.
So the main cover, and then we have the cover B.
Yeah, you just scan one, and then just what you can do is you can just set the 5, just set the 40. I mean, yeah.
But no, set to 45, set it to 8.
Or there, you can do that. Yes. Okay. Just manually.
Because it'll be 8, 9, and I just change it to 8. 4, 5. Will you double check? Double check it.
Lots of people talking in the background. Not sure if you can hear them, but there are people talking in the background. But yeah, we have the Baron cover, which I think, Kent, you were saying yesterday that this was like featuring characters from Solo? I don't know.
Well, the thing was it was just like the update thing where when I scanned it, I was just like,
This one of the Teen Titans thing.
yeah, no, I just added it.
So,
Brian, what was you asking?
do you know the people on the Star Wars Adventures?
Yes. So this is Tandy Newton's character, and that is what's his name's character, Woody Harrelson, and that's Jon Favreau. So it's the crew from Solo before Solo. So it's I honestly, and there's an awesome Wookiee cover, which, yeah, no, I had to look at that and be like, oh yeah, it's characters from Solo.
So then we have Steambound 3.
Yes. Which we.
Because like 2 came out last week, and then 1 came out like the week
It's
before.
yeah, I feel like we got 1 a month ago. We got 2 weeks ago. 3 came out this week. So if you need Steambound 1 through 3, like
we have
some. Although I might have like only 1 copy of Steambound #1 on the shelf. So I think if you want that, let us know now. But yeah, Steambound 1, 2, 3 are already out, and it's only been like a month.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh man, that was. I was looking forward to that second issue of this.
So Stray Dogs issue 2, along with the movie Baron cover.
Brian, do you know what movie that is for?
Is that Pet Sematary?
I think so. Did you get your jow? Brian.
Which one?
I don't know. Ask Dave.
I own more than one.
But don't you have one on pre-order still right now? Or did
Yes.
Okay, because I saw the one you posted the other day. That was the previous Jawa release, right?
Well, that's one of the previous Jawas released.
What's the one you currently have on pre-order?
They're doing a series of Black Series, which is the
That's
current
right.
kind of things, but they are styled like the original figures from '77.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So no, he has not gotten it yet. That one's still on pre-order, Dave.
I will. Apparently, it has a projected release date of the 5th of May.
Oh.
No, the 4th of May. That's what it is. So technically, it's supposed to get to me on May the 4th.
That would be very cool if that worked out properly.
The other one got pushed back, so it's going to be. Sure, Jordan, we can get you.
Absolutely, Adrian.
Do you want the main cover or the movie version cover?
Important distinctions.
If you don't care, we'll just give you the main cover.
Yeah.
We have Taskmaster #5.
So that concludes the miniseries.
I think we also got second printings of 3.
We did get some second printings of #3 as well. So if anyone
has
needs
that new character that people were.
Captain Pepsi, the first appearance of on the cover of Captain
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man, thank you.
It's Pepsi Man.
I think it's a Captain Pepsi because it's a super soldier situation.
But he looks more like the character Pepsi Man.
That's true.
For Adrian Fox.
Yes.
So we have the TMT Best of Michelangelo.
Don't worry, we have confirmed there will be a Best of Shredder next. That's the next one, Best of Shredder.
No,
Do you need a Captain Pepsi?
I don't think so.
not
yet.
the.
Oh.
I thought you said that it was a best of Splinter next. So Adrian wants the movie variant.
Yeah, we'll got it. I take it this was for the rare one. Yeah.
So in here you get a Eastman Laird story, a story by Brian Lynch and Andy Cunn, and then the third one is by Ian Flynn and Michael Dialanis.
Oh, Down Alice. Yeah.
So Eastman Laird stuff.
See you, buddy.
So do we still have the other 3 turtles?
I'm not sure, Scott. Do we still have any of the best of the Ninja Turtle books still in stock? I know we've had some.
I think we got Leonardo
You have
and
Donnie still?
Donatello.
Raph was like the first
Raph
one.
is the one that's gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like that
So
one was early.
So we have Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Donatello for out of Raphael. And so then the last book that we have is issue 17, Usagi Yojimbo.
Sorry, Ryan. All right. So I guess we can start talking about some more of the collected stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we only got 2 of the 6 different ones of these I ordered. So Self-Made Hero reissued these really great H.P. Lovecraft adaptations by I.N.J. Culbard. These 2 came in. Diamond shorted us the other 4. These, if you've talked to me at all, I've been a big fan of these adaptations for years. They finally did a new printing of them, so I ordered like maybe 3 or 4 copies of all of them. I'm not sure. Hopefully they'll send us our damage replacements, but right now we just have a case of Charles Dexter Ward and Dream Quest of the Unknown Karath. We should have
Do you know
Yellow
what the
King.
other 4 are?
Yes, the other ones are gonna be the let's see, the other ones that they've released in this round, I believe, are going to be what is it? Yellow King. I'm trying to see if they just have them listed in here. There are, I could just grab the invoice and tell you, but there are a handful of other ones that are going to be coming out soon. I am on it. There's no point in me saying. Just know that you will be able to get these, but yeah, I.N.J. Culbard has been doing some really great stuff for a while. Recently, they did the Seance story in what is it? The Umbrella Academy, Tales from Umbrella Academy. So he recently illustrated that. Culbard also is doing that really great book with Christopher Cantwell at Dark Horse called Everything, as well as doing some really cool stuff with Dan Abnett years ago, Wild Ends. So yeah, really, really great, kind of very clean art style. Been a big fan of Culbard's for a while. So we should hopefully be getting the rest of those in soon. We did also get this really nice release.
So those are $14 each.
Yeah, not too much. And so we got this really nice Captain.
I think we got those back in.
We got these back in. This was a restock issue or a restock item that we'd kind of been waiting on a new stock. So for some of you, maybe a television show was your first introduction to this very awesome character who's been around for a while now.
Yeah.
So maybe you didn't know they were Captain Marvel. Maybe you only know Monica as Photon or Spectrum or Captain Universe or what's the other thing she's gone by in the past? Captain Marvel, Captain Universe, Photon, Spectrum. There's like a 5th one. But the point is, for $35, they've got this really nice collection to get people familiar with the character. So
it's like
you've
the
got
early appearances.
Yeah.
Wasn't she a pulsar?
Pulsar. Yeah, no, it's was it Pulsar? Did she go by that name too? Photon, Spectrum, Pulsar. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the last one. Yeah, I tell you what, Derek, what we can do, we'll put one of each of these in the box for you, and then the ones that they've shorted us, I can put those on order for you, so when they do get fulfilled, we can just get those added to the box for you. But yeah, so for anyone who was interested, this is basically going to be Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16, Avengers 227, 279. So it's just little kind of first introductions to the stuff. And then some of the more kind of classic stories where you're getting introduced to this character, who I'm willing to bet is going to have a much larger role moving forward.
Yeah. So Derek, we can also get you the Monica book.
Can do. Continuing on with some really great releases, the Chelsea Kane Spy Island trade finally came out. So for people maybe who'd been enjoying this team's work on Hawkeye back in the day, this was here. But we
didn't they also do the Mockingbird?
Yes, they did. They did the. Excuse me. Yes, Mockingbird is where it was the book I'm thinking of, because it was Hawkeye adjacent.
Yes. That's
why I was thinking of that Mockingbird book. And then I believe what was the name of that Image book? Maneaters. Same team on that. So this is Dark Horse release, but basically it's going to be a kind of they call it a Bermuda Triangle mystery, but this is very much going to be a of the era kind of story, with a lot of really interesting characters, great art style, but yeah, very Chelsea Kane is a very interesting storyteller, and I really appreciate all of the kind of non-traditional storytelling stuff they use. So you get like cool like newspaper articles, you get all sorts of stuff like this. So they do a lot of really great world building. I would 100% say.
Spy Island and then Maneaters, they always had really cool like cover design, like
yes.
front and back covers.
Yeah, they've got some really great team working on stuff. But yeah, I do love the stylized kind of version of this, and you very much get the idea of what this story is going to kind of present itself to be. And then we mentioned it earlier because issue 6 came out, but the first volume of Scumbag by Rick Remender and Bengal is out now. Or no, Bengal's working on it now. I believe Salvador LaRocca was the beginning artist on this. Louis LaRocca. Andrew Robinson did 2, Eric Powell did 3, Roland Boschi did 4, Wes Craig did 5. So 6 is going to be the one where Bengal takes over. So yeah, each issue is illustrated by a different artist that is, from Rick's long Rolodex of people he works with. All right, Derek, now we're into all the stuff for you guys. So if you wanted to catch up on Scumbag, you can pick up this trade for $10 and get issue 6 right now. Another great release this week from Dark Horse, similar to Spy Island, is the release of Youth by Kurt Pyers. This is part of the digital first stuff, so this was originally released through Comixology, and we now get a physical copy of this. But Kurt Pyers did stuff like Tomorrow's, done some interesting kind of stuff. But this is, what is this? This is, let's show the interior art here. So you've got this here. So Youth is, what is this? Larry Clark's Kids meets Chronicle is how they're trying to sell this. But yeah, Youth is a coming-of-age story that tells the story of 2 queer teenagers as they run away from their lives in a bigoted small town in an attempt to make their way to California. Along the way, their car breaks down and they join up with a group of fellow misfits on the road. Embarking together in a van traveling country, they party and attempt to find themselves, and then something happens. So, let's see.
They found out that the true treasure was the friends they met along the way?
That's definitely not what happens.
The true treasure was not the friends they met along the way. It was actually like actual money.
Let's just say this. This is going on, and then all of a sudden, maybe there's some supernatural, some sci-fi elements, some fantastical elements that interact with these people who seemingly live in a very normal, mundane world, and then all of a sudden it becomes more than that. I won't spoil anything for people reading, but basically, Brian, this is how like they all, like, it looks like issue ends with. Oh wait, that. Oh, what happened? And then reveal. So I without spoiling too much, I would say if you are looking forward to something that maybe starts off as what you think is going to be a coming of age story, then gets a nice sci-fi kind of fantasy twist to it.
Yeah, Alex, we can totally get your copy.
Can do. And then the last featured one that we've got up on the wall right now is Volume 2 of Undiscovered Country. This is the Charles Sewell, Scott Snyder story that they've been working on over at Image. Dystopian America, U.S. The country has basically gone to garbage. Bunch of people from Canada kind of come in.
Based on the rules, based on ripped from today's news headline.
Yeah, basically. I mean, essentially, what happened is years ago the U.S. put up giant walls that wouldn't, so people couldn't come in. We kicked everyone out, and then a bunch of Canadians and other people go, well, there's been kind of this like weird thing that's happened. Maybe we should go back and see what's going on in the U.S. And then when they get there, it's this crazy, weird like sci-fi dystopian world where you've got giant monsters and all sorts of crazy, weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like ripped from today's news headlines.
Yes, Brian. Just like ripped, just like this from today's. It's.
Yeah. You watch the news, right?
I definitely watch the news. But yeah, if you needed to get Volume 2 of this, we finally have that release of that. But that is out now. So while maybe some people take some more looks at this, we'll make sure we get all of these requests pulled, and I'm gonna go grab some more of the collected stuff that came out this week, just so y'all can get a better idea of some of the trades and the hardcovers we've got.
The bag.
And, well, in the meantime... No. Well, Brian, while I'm collecting that, would you like to show me what's there? Big shout out to longtime commenter, longtime customer of ours. But Adrian Fox stopped by the actual shop today and made it home in time to get to the comments section and join us. But Adrian was very kind to gift us some things that if you watch this stream, you know are things we are 100% in for, whether or not they are good or not. So Brian, what's in the bag?
Lady Gaga Oreos.
Ooh.
More than one package.
What else is in there?
Pickle Rick. So there's Pickle Rick Miracle Seltzer. And it says on the back, it's a miracle, don't waste it. This is edition 1. Or 01, So, Pickle Rick, he's a pickle. He's also a drink. And so then the...
Yeah.
limited edition Lady Gaga Oreos.
What?
Oh, scan to unlock a fun experience. As you know, just eating the Oreos wouldn't just be the fun experience. Pink colored golden cookie with green cream. Or creme. I don't know how you want to... Yeah. So, Lady Gaga Oreos and Pickle Rick as a drink.
Did you see my posting on about there?
All right. Ooh, well, Brian, if you would like to try some of that Pickle Rick seltzer, don't worry, I've already got some on ice. Alex, you 100% need to try those Gaga Oreos. They are very, very good. All right, let me get this pickle gimmick.
I don't know how we'll be together either. It could be a match made in heaven. 'Cause everybody likes Pickle Rick and Lady Gaga.
Well, obviously everyone does. So yeah, we're kind enough to be gifted this this lovely can of Pickle Rick Miracle Seltzer. This is 100% pickle juice and pure carbonated water. The
can has a weird texture.
It does. I like how it's got a spot gloss on it, so it feels like it's kind of wet. But most importantly, I really appreciate that the number one thing that I was told about this from Adrian was that she was told it was not pickly enough. So as someone who just finished a bag of dill pickle flavored kettle chips, I'm all in that pickle flavor. So I'm very interested to see how this goes. I was told to chill it first, so don't worry, Adrian. This has been properly chilled.
It says a pickle every day on the bottom.
All right, Brian. Hold on. For all of our ASMRs. There we go. Oh, that's pickle. All right, that actually smells like a nice brine on it. Here we go. I'm not gonna make you try more than that, Brian.
But it's not green.
That is the disappointing thing. The real question is, do I just drink this straight from the can? But then I have to finish it. All right. Air cheers. Brian, are you gonna try this with me? All right, Adrian. Thank you so much, and
it does smell like pickle.
Kenshi, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Pickle Rick Miracle Seltzer. It is 10 fluid ounces of pickle juice and pure carbonated water. And Adrian, you are right. There's not enough pickle flavor in here. Like, I legit wanted this to just be like carbonated brine. This is...
I'm disappointed that it's not green.
You know what though? This could be good as a mixer. You know, little vodka and then a ton of olive, maybe. But Adrian, thank you so much. I guarantee you these will all be appreciated. Whether or not they get drunk anytime recently, they'll definitely all be appreciated.
Not sure if it would be.
It's just not. It's that thing where like you start the pickle, but then it doesn't finish it. So it actually makes me want more pickle. It's very pickle forward, but very clean and lightly refreshing on the back end. I'd say it's mostly seltzery. Ooh yeah, Adrian. Oh yeah. Ooh, actually, hold on. I'll be right back.
So Mark, do you want to have some pickle drink? Not sure if I would pick this up if I saw it in store. Mainly because
I've got back to 6 or 7 over here.
I haven't watched Rick and Morty, so it's just like, oh, that's weird.
It's not out
I
there.
possibly would have taken a picture of it and posted it on the Instagram, like, hey, weird thing I found. But not that weird thing that I found and took home. But yeah, you can definitely tell that the flavoring is pickle, but not like, the smell of it is more pickle than the flavor. If we kind of, I don't know. There could be a... No. That could definitely be a crossover. Rick and Morty versus Invincible.
What are you looking for?
Well, as suggested,
Check this.
I'm gonna try a little bit of this. So, Adrian, thankfully we've got this beautiful bottle of Blanton's original single barrel bourbon whiskey. It's a very expensive bottle of bourbon whiskey that was gifted to us by a lovely customer of ours who thought that we went above and beyond and helped them out. Just saying, we'll do that for everybody. You don't have to give us a $70 bottle of bourbon, but we'll take it. So, if there's anything I want to mix with Pickle Rick flavored seltzer,
Is $70 bourbon?
Oh, hell yeah. Scott, you know I'm on the swish hard.
That's fine, but don't put no pickle juice in it.
Oh, all right, here we go.
It's not just pickle juice, it's pickle juice seltzer.
But not with that bourbon.
Well, here, don't worry. No, Adrian, no.
Like some Ezra.
Oh, no. If there's anything that's signature Kenshi, it's drinking $70 single malt bourbon with Pickle Rick flavored seltzer water. So, trust me, this is, I'm gonna chase this with a Lady Gaga Oreo. This is all on brand for me. But most importantly, if you enjoy this, I 100% would recommend it. I mean, oh God, it's like sweet candy. Brian, don't drink this. You're a good boy. You and Mark, enjoy your green Gatorades and take drugs and get cats. Is that what it is? Or do drugs?
It was do drugs, get cats.
Do drugs, get cats. That's my new tagline. Cool things are cool. Do drugs, get cats. All right, now most importantly, stay jazzy. Just so people don't think I'm bullshitting, I am actually putting this disgusting ass pickle juice in here. So here we go.
You didn't even swish it, apparently.
Don't need to swish. Okay, admittedly, that's not that bad.
Not that good.
It's actually not that bad. That's pretty good. Thanks, Adrian. I appreciate the recommendation. So if anyone else wants to go out of their way and find some Pickle Rick Miracle Seltzer, I would highly recommend mixing that with some delicious Blantons. You know this is exactly what when they registered bottle 228, hand labeled bottle, they thought you should mix that with some pickle flavored seltzer. But you know what? I'm gonna keep doing me. If I'm gonna live up to Brian's cool things are cool vibe, and I thought that was pretty cool. I'm just switching it. Whew. That actually is pretty good now. Oh yeah, no, everything I've done with this bourbon has been a crime against it. Anything besides sipping this with perhaps one single ice cube of spring water is doing it a disservice. But
so you make the Pickle Rick seltzer into the ice cube, and you put it in.
Legitimately though, this is good ass bourbon. Like this is, oh man,
it's ass bourbon,
dude. If you had to put if that's how you make this, I don't care. More ass for me, please.
And that will be the quote that Matt put.
I hope this is the video clip Matt uses for the post for next week.
I was talking about ass
more
bourbon.
More ass bourbon for me. All right, well that was delightful, but I feel like we should. There's something else we should add to this, Brian. I don't suppose you've got something I could nosh on.
How are you thinking?
Sure. We could take the Lady Gaga Oreos and we dip them in our in our beverage.
Huh?
We take the Lady Gaga Oreo and we dip it in the beverage.
Oh, I'm not that terrible of a person.
So Matt says he's already clipped ass bourbon.
Did he?
It says he clipped it.
All right, perfect. All right, I got my glove on. I'm going to.
This isn't Michael Jackson Oreos.
No, but these are Lady Gaga Oreos, and I would like.
You're wearing one glove.
Well, yeah, I'm touching with one, but they were delivered. They were hand delivered to us this morning by Adrian Fox, a lovely customer of ours. We have multiple bags of them, Randall.
Hi.
Hi.
Do they taste good?
They do. Also, congratulations on the surgery announcement, Randall. If anyone has yet to visit the Love Family fundraiser, please head over to the case-sensitive link here, or head over to randalllovesalon.com, order some products up. You can get some stuff directly from Randall, or you can waste time, go to Instagram, go to @thekenshi. There's a link in the bio there. But if you just are patient and type in this case-sensitive link here, you can head over to the GoFundMe page and help some lovely people out. And now
over to my Instagram page, My Life, and just look at pictures and stuff.
That's yeah. You can see all those cool new action figures you got.
And see my my near miss of interaction with Rob Liefeld.
Well, you know it was because you picked X-Force that week, and I think you just
No, I did those two covers that look really similar.
That's right. You just posted that, and then he very much, I think, just retweeted it.
Well, he put it in his story, but I don't know what he said because I saw it like 2-3 days later. So I don't know if he said something positive.
He probably said, all fire, real dope, more pouches. So, all right. So for anyone who has yet to try the Lady Gaga Oreos, go out and get some.
If you can find them.
If you can find them, I will say this: Golden Oreos might be better than standard Oreos, and this. Ooh, once you add that food coloring to the golden Oreo, it gives it that extra crisp. Oh, it's just perfect. So, oh, I know how bad this sounds. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. Don't forget, they're all a little different. So, I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a handful for myself, and then I'm gonna give these back to you, Brian, and you are welcome to. So, ooh, looks like we got the lovely Chromatica cover or Chromatica cookie. Ooh, got the heart, and got the dancing Gaga. Which, Brian, have you had these? You have it because when Nelson brought us some. So once again, shout out Daniel Nelson, friend of ours, longtime co-conspirator in cookie confectionaries. But yeah, I will say this. The thing I love about these Lady Gagas is you get the 1.5 stuff in there, and ooh, just That was a mistake. That's gross. We can get one one F-bomb a year. Oh. Okay. Adrian. Good call on the mix of this. Kenshi. Bad call on the mix of this. Not good.
Should we share some with Randall?
I'm gonna definitely skip some. Well, Adrian, you were kind enough to. Adrian gave us 3 packages of this. So, just so you know, Adrian, one of these is going to go ahead and get donated directly to the Love Family fundraiser. So just so you know, Adrian, you can actually write off the purchase of one of these on your taxes, as we are donating it to the GoFundMe. Yeah, Nelson's right. Nelson's definitely right. Like, they stay crunchier longer. Oh man, they're very good. I would 100% say, Oreo, if you're listening, continue to make golden Oreos and color them with dye, because it makes something chemically it's like red velvet. Just perfect.
Are you gonna go give them to Randall?
I am right now. I just want to eat another one before I do it.
Watch out for your taste.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, well, I'm gonna go hand deliver these. BRB.
Randall, you said you haven't tried these yet? I just want to know what they taste like. I love that I always come in and says, like, the next time. Give us 3 steps, so.
So, I guess if we stay online in front of the 6 minutes mark, you know,
Yeah, like
store will be closed.
The thing where, like, the golden Oreo doesn't quite have the crunch.
So, Mark, do you have anything else you want to say?
With the food color.
It's almost like talking to my co-host on my live stream. You just sit there and say
Regardless of
nothing.
Gaga's input on them, those are phenomenal Oreos.
but I'm not sure which is better.
I used to not like Oreos.
Cardboard
And then
cutout
they
or
introduced birthday cake, and I was like, okay, I found my thing.
stuffed shark.
Yeah.
So, Kenshi saw it, I didn't. I could probably tell you what Kenshi's feeling on it, since I've heard his feelings on it being related to a half a dozen other people. That there's 4 hours and 2 minutes, but there's like 90 minutes worth of good movie in it. Whedon has a problem with people of color since he cut out most of them in his cut. Yeah. It's a thing that you should see at least once. Which, you know, you probably have, 4 hours that you can have a thing on in the background.
Right, it's not, you get a bit of pickle on the front end, and then the back end just tastes like salted. So, it's a pretty...
So if you have HBO Max or have an access to it,
I'm not sure who would just drink
and you got 4 hours that you don't mind wasting, watch the movie.
20 days.
I'm gonna go back and drink my green juice.
Glad someone dropped off 3.
Because I think if you're gonna call a thing pickle, it should be green.
They're delightful. I managed to pick them up at like Freddy's or QFC. I think like right when they first came out, and so yeah, I felt fortunate. So yeah, when
What size are you?
that's medium.
I have like 30 blank t-shirts at home that my mother-in-law bought for Christmas for me to make Love Salon t-shirts. And
So,
I
yeah,
can make you an official stream.
yeah. You'd think
Actually, I did.
No.
I did
you
almost
could put
make
just a little bit of green food coloring in there, like a light green or something like that.
You own it?
That's Sharpie.
Oh yeah, this is black and red Sharpie. Just like my arcade comics and more. It's all Sharpie.
Yeah, if you send me the logo, I can put your logo on anything you want. I can even put your name on there.
Fair enough.
Alright, bye guys.
Alright, bye.
Thank you for the Oreos.
No, yeah, just don't tell.
Adrian.
Yeah, I will definitely. I'll thank Adrian right now.
I just like to assume, Brian, you've just been sitting here for the last 5 minutes eating Oreos quietly. Ooh. This is these are legitimately very, very good.
Derek wanted to know if we saw a Snyder Cut.
Brian, take a break. I got this. Alright. So you want to talk some... So, is this where we're at in the stream?
Well, I told them that over the 4 hours and 2 minutes, there's at least 90 minutes worth of good content. You
I just
should
want to
see it at
officially
least
know if
once.
this is where we're at. If this is where we're at in the stream, we can get into it. But I just want to know if this is where we're at. I could go get some trades. Honestly, just check the website. Go to arcanecomicbooks.com. Click on New This Week. You'll see all the new stuff that came in. Now, I'm going to do a minute-for-minute recap of the Snyder Cut. So I hope you've got 4 hours and 2 minutes ready, because I've got 4 hours and 2 minutes worth of content for you. First and
I
foremost,
did 5.5 hours on Saturday.
you had 6 short boxes of comics, Brian, of Superman comics.
And then I had trades and some other stuff.
All right. Well, you get comment section. You're drunk. Go home.
How do you unsubscribe from Facebook?
I don't know, but we all should unsubscribe from Facebook.
How do you? I guess you could unsubscribe from a page.
You could
Just
definitely do that.
stop following that page.
You could definitely do that. But my buddy Mark and I here, we're let's just say this. Did this movie need to exist? No. Did it need to take 5 years of some really weird internet commenters to get to this point? Not at all. However, if you've got 4 hours and 2 minutes to spend watching a movie, which we all do, we've all spent 4 hours and 2 minutes watching stuff we don't care about, watching things we regret.
Yeah. Daniel Nelson spent 5.5 hours on Saturday watching me ramble on for.
Yeah, we've all spent 4 hours and 2 minutes in a single sitting, wasting time watching something that we didn't think should exist. However, to to Zack Snyder's credit, he's trying something. I still don't think he understands Batman or Superman as a character. I still don't think he genuinely gets who some of these characters are trying to be. But quite frankly, it's really nice to see Ray Parker justified. Yeah.
Ray Parker Jr.?
I wish Ray Parker Jr. Actually, I don't even think that's... What is that actor's name? I think it is Ray Parker. But the point is, for 5 years, the actor who played Cyborg was talking about how there was this version of the film that was out that actually developed this character. And we finally saw it. Like, to his credit, Joss Whedon cut out every person of color from his version of that film. The Ryan Choi stuff in this, I really like. Ezra Miller, I think, is a garbage person. But in this film, you actually get development of the character. It might be the worst scored movie I've ever seen. It has some of the worst music I've ever heard. Like, the lyrics in these songs sound like parody lyrics. It's freaking not good at points. However, if you think that Zack Snyder is phoning it in, you are wrong. I think, Nelson, we talked about this. He might not get what he's doing, but he's trying. And if this dude cut this movie from what he shot from 2016 to 2018, how in the hell did he think he was only making one movie? Because there are 2 scenes that they reshot. One of them is stupid and pointless. Like, it's absolutely asinine to introduce a character no one's ever even thought of as like a weird tack on to a scene that already was kind of a miserable scene. And then you add on all the stuff at the end with the 3-part epilogue. I'll say this, Jared Leto is actually playing a decent Joker. He says things Joker would say. And I know it's a dream sequence, Nelson, don't bring this up. But Batman, still not right for me. I mean, here's the thing. Derek, you are 100% right. Shut up, Daniel. Get out of here. You're not wrong, Derek. I think that the whole vision in which we look at DCU stuff is not right. But I will say this. All of the Cyborg stuff in it is good. Like, it actually makes me care about the character. The Flash stuff, I think, is super interesting. And if they're claiming that this doesn't lead into Flashpoint, they're full of shit. Because there's no way that what happens towards the end of this movie and the stuff including Flash, if that doesn't inform this Flashpoint movie they're making, I don't understand that. But realistically, the fact that he breaks it up into parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an epilogue makes it somewhat consumable. That if you don't, like myself, want to commit 4 hours and 2 minutes to watching this thing in full 3:4 aspect ratio to preserve Snyder's vision, because he was going to release it in IMAX, you're not doing yourself a disservice. And once again, we've wasted 4 hours and 2 minutes watching stuff that no one likes anyway. So you might as well spend 4 hours and 2 minutes.
On Saturday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not like Brian's live stream on Saturday. Check out twitch.tv/professor_0. The O in 0 is actually the number 0 and not the capital letter 0. It's the number. But you know that already because you watch the stream. But most importantly, if you want to see a DC movie that's trying for something, go for it. Like, don't get me wrong.
Shazam?
Definitely watch Shazam. Shazam is fun. Shazam is good. I would say the two most fun I've had watching DC movies are Shazam and Birds of Prey.
Oh, not Steel?
Okay. I had fun watching Steel. I didn't know. I was a kid, so I can't say whether I was right or not. But Mark agrees. We both are big fans of Birds of Prey. So yeah, like ultimately, DC I think has had a problem making their movies fun. And to Shazam and Birds of Prey's credit, those movies are fun. The Snyder Cut is not fun. His opening, that like recut he did with that sequence of Wonder Woman fighting in the bank is god awful. Like, I think it's terrible. I hate the way he recut it. Wonder Woman does not have flash powers. She's super strong. She does not have flash powers. That's bad.
Wonder Woman's flashing people?
Whoa, that's a whole different movie. That one is not in the Snyder Cut. But realistically, I will say this.
But
I had
Misery
no...
loves company.
Misery does love company. Go ahead and rewatch Misery. Kathy Bates, Oscar-winning performance. James Caan, very, very good film. One of the best adaptations, I'd say, of Stephen King's stories. But yeah, I expected absolutely nothing from this film. I thought it was going to be absolute trash. I didn't want it to exist because I didn't like the idea of a petulant child throwing a temper tantrum until someone gave in. Regardless of the personal circumstances in Zack Snyder's life that led him to not continue to do this film, I still think he doesn't understand Batman and Superman, which you can't tell stories in DC if you don't understand the two main characters in the universe. But, yeah, fun stuff. Like, it's... I also say this. I think, Nelson, you also brought up a very good point. Because the movie is shot in 4:3 to preserve that idea of he was going to release an IMAX, because you don't get this stupid 16:9, you actually are forced to focus on the thing in front of you, so you don't have, like, this giant range of characters where you don't know where to look. Like, it's... You know where he wants you to look. Also, all the stuff on Themyscira, way better. There's none of this, like, weird Joss Whedon sexualization stuff. Like, Stop defending him Stop defending him, Nelson. I'll pick a pay cut. Take a pay cut. Whatever. It's fine. Sorry, Mark. Sorry. But yeah, I would 100% say that, yeah, the movie is stupid. It's downright bad at times, but I had fun watching it, and I understand what I'm saying. If you can make it into hour 3, that's right, if you can make it through the first 3 hours of the Snyder Cut, that last hour, and half of the last hour is the epilogue, there's some stuff there that I think is worth it. I think there's definitely some stuff there, especially all the Cyborg and all the Flash stuff is worth it. I appreciate that Snyder, like, because I don't know if does anyone actually remember Justice League? Did anyone not watch Justice League before this like I did and remember it? Because I sure as hell didn't remember anything in that movie. I remember a dumb fight scene in a bunker, and that was it. So to Snyder's credit, he took out a lot of all that stupid quippy dialogue that is very Joss Whedon-y, like every single stupid joke, like a thing where it's like Batman and you know, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, just going back and that's gone. Which, that's not Batman to me. He keeps the one good Batman line. What's your superpower? I'm rich. That's a great line. That is also one of the funniest lines of dialogue Ben Affleck has ever delivered. So adding all that extra bullshit at the end with all of his little quippy stuff, I think is stupid. So, my final conclusion is, Snyder Cut is a bad film because in general, it's a bad movie. However, it is 1,000% worth your time in watching, and if you are interested in seeing a creator actually have a vision and a take on some characters, He does it. And say what you will, if this was the beginning of a trilogy, I'm in for the rest of it. I don't think we're ever going to see more of it. But if you, like, dude, I'd rather watch this than, like, I don't care about Black Widow. I literally don't care about that movie. I think
it's coming out in June.
Sure it is. Who gives a crap? I like Falcon Winter Soldier. It's going to be a great six episode thing, whatever. Like
9 episodes.
I think they officially said it's going to be 6.
Okay.
So it's, but if you want to watch something that has no reason to exist but exists because it does, like, seriously, like, what else are you gonna do? Yeah, like, go watch Brian's live stream on Saturday and then go watch the Snyder Cut, and you will have spent 10 hours watching something, 2 things, and
no, this Saturday will probably be short, I think.
But if you go back and rewatch the old one,
yeah. This Saturday's art stream.
yeah, look, I'll say this, like, Derek, the thing with it is with what you're saying about the precedent set, like, that was 100% where I was. I didn't like the idea that a toxic fandom was getting their way, but I think if you take a further step back, that was legitimately a small part of that. It legitimately was a small part of the internet that co-opted on to the stuff and thought Whedon's was too feminist or some dumb bullshit idea like that. But if you do look at the heart of where that comes, a lot of that does actually come from the actor playing Cyborg going, there is something there. I'm not gaslighting people. I performed. I had a role that 100% got completely cut out. And I just think that it's nice to see someone justified when they've been making claims for years. And you've had entire movie studios, executives, you included, Jeff Johns, actively trying to undercut this person's story of what happened. And there's a part of me that does appreciate seeing that vindication of someone who did put something out there and then just continually was just saying, oh, that didn't happen. Like, it did happen. So as much as I hate the idea of toxic fans getting what they want, I do actually think that this came more from a place of someone having to leave a project they did legitimately have passion for, having that thing come out, having it not be anything close to what they wanted to put out, and them having a legitimate gripe about it. Whether or not this needed to happen, that's not the question. It did happen. So I would say participate in it. Why not? It's out there. And quite frankly, like, I would never tell anyone to rewatch BVS or Justice League, but the Snyder Cut, it's going for it. Yeah, there you go, Nelson. Now that's another very, very good reason. Yeah, no, the toxic fan theory, I think, was a very small minority of that very vocal online push to get the Snyder Cut.
What?
But
You mean the toxic fan base is a very small part of a fan base, but they're a vocal fan base, so everyone assumes that it's a lot larger than it actually is?
Exactly. It also just doesn't help that once those dirtbags got onto it, it was a thing where it automatically just got shelved away. And I'm not saying this is a Pepe situation, I'm just saying at this point in time, I agree with Daniel. I don't think this was a toxic fandom pushing it. Maybe they did. I think that's the thing is the vocal majority of people, or what felt like the vocal majority of people did really at the time seem like it was this fandom who just was like, I want this and I want that. But I don't know. I do really have to say that, like, after seeing a lot more, like Nelson said, with the raising money for suicide prevention and a bunch of the other stuff that I think has kind of come from this, and seeing the justification for Ray Fisher, seeing how much that Ryan Choi character was there, seeing how much Whedon literally cut every person of color out of that film as much as he possibly could. It's just interesting seeing the vision that this creator had. Once again, the movie is not great. It's some of the worst music I've ever heard in a film, and I still don't think Zack Snyder understands at their core who these people are, who Batman and Superman are. I don't know. I feel like the Fisher stuff was coming out from the very beginning, though, as far as that, where, like, from the very beginning of that Justice League coming out that was terrible, he was like, I have something good here. Yeah, I don't know. I think, unfortunately, the Snyder Cut, if anything, is ultimately gonna... It suffers from the idea that it, myself included, it did feel like it was coming from this, like, petulant fan base who didn't really understand the characters and didn't really understand, I guess, the type of story we were looking for. But ultimately, you know, there's a bunch of people like Rick and Morty who want Szechuan sauce, and then there was a bunch of us who loved it from day one and always knew from the beginning that Rick was the villain. So, like, you can't, unfortunately, pick your fandom, and I think that has been something very unfortunate. Trust me, I am not sitting here telling you I think Zack Snyder is a great filmmaker, but I'm definitely saying it's really weird to me how a lot of this stuff just gets co-opted by people. Oh, I 100% agree with you, Adrian. Like, to me, it's more of a thing where I would like to see Snyder cap this version of it, and it's honestly why the film I'm really looking forward to that DC has got right now is the Ava DuVernay New Gods film that Tom King is helping her as was brought in to write, because those are some interesting characters, and that's one that I think there's actually an ability to tell something. There's always going to be a problem with doing any mainline story that has Batman in it. I 100% think that as a property, Warner Brothers and DC are never going to take a risk with that character. I think it is 100% something that speaks to their limited scope, and them believing that if they upset any part of their fandom with that character, they're going to lose them forever, which I do think is one of the biggest reasons why I personally don't read a lot of contemporary Batman comics, because I think that the character itself has been built into this very weird version that I'm not particularly a fan of. But that's not to say I don't like the idea of who Batman is as a character, but I think specifically because Batman is involved in these films, you're always going to have this really weird sense of ownership from, like, multi-generational fans. But a lot of this is, for me, the idea that, like, I'd like to get to a point where we're not just exclusively putting people of color or women creators on movies that is the main character. However, representation matters, and you 100%, if you want to be making steps on the right road, you need to have people like Ryan Coogler making Black Panther films. You need to have people like Patty Jenkins making Wonder Woman films. I think you should have people of that, if whoever that character represents in the diaspora, people who have that experience culturally and personally should be telling stories more in that. In the same way that I think it's a very simple choice, but in the Falcon Winter Soldier show, the fact that they change Sam's origin story to have him be from, like, a shrimp farmer from Louisiana, I think fits more with the actual background of Anthony Mackie, because that hopefully is giving him something to bring to the character. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, there's a big part of me that is just waiting for us to get through this wave of stuff where it feels like, well, we got the version out that everyone wanted. Now let's get into the more nuanced stuff. And so, you know, maybe someday we'll see some other creators coming in on stuff. But honestly, until they get people at these companies to actually push that, I don't know if we're gonna see kind of better storytelling. But we'll see. I'll say this. One of my biggest takeaways right now from DC is I wish they would just make a decision and go for it. And as much as I don't think Zack Snyder should be the one doing everything for him, if they want to have a corner of their universe where Zack Snyder gets to tell his stories about characters he doesn't understand, I'm fine with that. If it means that over here we get to have stories that actually feel like they're okay. Like I still think that the actor they have playing Supergirl on the TV series, they should make a movie with her. I still think all of those characters should get an actual movie release. That Flash should get a movie, and it just exists in a different multiverse with this stupid Ezra Miller version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
it's totally not that they've established that people will watch multiverse things.
Well, it's also a thing too where they've gone out of their way to tell you that as their stuff exists, it's a multiverse, and so you should be able to continue. Like the Todd Phillips Joker movie should canonically exist in the DC movies, the DC whatever they're calling it, DCU or whatever. Does it mean that that's the only Joker? Of course not. But that doesn't. There's no reason these things shouldn't all exist, and there's no reason they can't all inform each other in some small capacity. But yeah, if Zack Snyder and all of those gritty, dark versions of the universe, if those people want to have their films, they can have them. Just go put them over there, and then let Henry Cavill play Superman in a role that I'm interested in. Like, have someone develop All-Star Superman as a movie, or something. I think we're all just waiting for a point when we actually get some more visionary people to come in and work on this stuff. But I also don't know if Warner Brothers is ever going to get that together. I think they are so far removed from having any idea of what the hell they're doing with these characters. But so that's my very brief recap of the Snyder Cut.
It only took 20 minutes.
It only took 20 minutes, so not that long. It would have gone longer if Nelson was probably here with me. We could have gone back and forth on this for a while. But Derek,
that'll be Twitch content for Sarah.
That's definitely Twitch content. But Derek, Adrian, like to everyone else who's still here hanging out, thinking about Snyder Cut, it exists, and as fans of comic books, as fans of other mediums like movies, realistically, I don't see any reason why they're. Oh God, don't even. No, no. That is the number one thing, Derek, you nailed it right there. Do not let Goyer write any more scripts at your company. He's terrible. Also, can we get a Goyer cut of Suicide Squad? But yeah,
We're going to talk about other movies now.
Are there other movies?
We could talk about Fred 2. Night of the
We're
Living
definitely
Fred.
not talking about Fred 2. We're going to talk about... Actually, I haven't seen Raya yet.
Mr. Right, starring Sam Rockwell.
Mr. Right, very good, underrated
Anna
movie.
Kendrick.
Very good movie.
RZA.
And RZA is in it as Shotgun Steve. So there's plenty of other films we can talk about, but I feel like the Snyder Cut discussion feels
Tim
like a...
Roth? That's the...
Is he in that one too?
I think so.
That sounds about right. But yeah, ultimately, if you've got an HBO Max subscription, just break it up into a couple chunks. Watch it if you want. If not, don't watch it. Who cares? Doesn't matter. But what else are you gonna do? You got 4 hours and 2 minutes. Just do what I did. Like, have it on for 3 hours, and then, watch some other stuff, and, cook some dinner. It's fine. Yeah, see, that's worth it. Doom Patrol is very, very good yet. Oh, see, you can't talk about Fred 2. Daniel still hasn't watched it yet. Yes, and here's the thing, Derek. Up until the Snyder Cut came out...
Put it on at work.
Yeah, Daniel's a big fat liar. But no, Doom Patrol, very good. I would have said up until Snyder Cut, that is hands down the best Cyborg, I've seen. I still think both Cyborgs should exist. I think both the Ray Fisher one and I don't remember the name of the actor who plays it. Jovian Wade.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I think both those actors...
It's a weird name, so it's just that's kind of interesting.
I know Timothy Dalton. I know Brendan Fraser. I know Alan Tudyk. I know Matt Bomber. I know that woman from Orange is the New Black. I know... No, Elliot Page is in Umbrella Academy. All I know is Doom Patrol actually is probably the best thing that DCU has put out. Doom Patrol is very, very good. And I cannot wait for season 2. But yeah,
Watch
1,000%.
Terminator 1 and 2 on the course of 4 hours.
Sure, but, you know, why would you do that? You've already seen that. You haven't seen the Snyder Cut yet. Also, it's 4 hours and 2 minutes. Don't forget those last 2 minutes. They're very important.
Is there a mid-credit sequence?
Oh God, I hope not. No, there are no stingers. There are no post-credit sequences. There's just a 3-part epilogue. So after you've watched part 1, after you've watched part 2, after you've watched part 3, part 4, part 5, and then part 6, there is an epilogue. Yes, the animated Harley Quinn show I've heard is very good. I'm a big fan of Ron Funches as King Shark on that show.
King Shark, who will be in the Suicide Squad.
Heck yeah, not as Ron Funches, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah, no, as always, Warner Animation has always been the best thing that they've ever had as far as adapting comic book characters onto something else. Like, any of the Bruce Timm stuff, like, yeah, their animation stuff I think is still very, very good, and actually makes me mad that they don't theatrically release some of those, or it didn't. I don't want anything theatrically released right now. But ultimately...
But essentially, 3/4 of the stuff is like, no, this is going to be going to straight to DVD. And I'm like, no, that's pretty, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
No, it's just here at the...
Yeah, I mean, I think Justice League Gods and Monsters was really cool. That could have been a theatrical release. Like, that Batman Ninja thing, they could have put that out. I mean, Lego Batman got a theatrical release. There's no reason, like, all of their animated stuff shouldn't get a theatrical release. I mean, just do a Fathom Events thing, but, you know, we'll see.
Frontier got its own animated version.
Yeah. No, I mean, All-Star Superman had a nice one, but ultimately...
There's a Justice League versus Crime Syndicate animated movie.
Oh, very cool. Or, you know, if you don't have time for that, on March 26th, we can go over to Amazon Prime and we can go check out Mark and our good buddy Mark and his new show, Invincible, streaming on Amazon Prime starting on March 26th. March 26th. Just a guy trying to make his way through high school while also being the well, I'm not going to spoil this show. But just know, if you've watched Superman and Dragon Ball and Spider-Man, you pretty much are going to understand who this character is. But yeah, I would say, you know, it's been a long stream.
So he was bitten by a radioactive toddler from another planet.
Yes.
And then once he gains the powers, he then has to go around the world to collect a series of spherical objects.
Yep.
So then he could release a magic dragon to grant a wish.
Yep. It's a big wish. So yeah. So it also a little bit of Aladdin. Little bit of Aladdin. Speaking of that, is anyone else looking forward to the NC-17, the R-rated, and PG-13 cut of Mrs. Doubtfire that the internet just learned exists this week? So the director for Mrs. Doubtfire said that. Did you see this?
Like the original Robin
So
Williams
the original. So the story came out this week that the director for Mrs. Doubtfire actually filmed all the scenes with multiple cameras, or a lot of them, because of Robin Williams' ad-lib ability. So he said there's enough things that they had to either cut or not include that they could make an NC-17, an R-rated, and a PG-13 cut of Mrs. Doubtfire.
So is the PG-13 cut the one that they put out in
I think the PG one is the one they put. I think that movie's PG. But no, they were basically saying they could put out an R-rated cut of Mrs. Doubtfire in like a month because there's enough just Robin Williams ad-lib stuff that he said that was completely inappropriate. But so you know, these things exist. We now live in a post-Snyder Cut world. So if you've ever loved something but didn't think it was great, don't worry, we'll make it again. But in any case, I think that about wraps it up for now. If you are interested at all in any more Snyder Cut discussion, feel free to stop by the shop while I'm here and just bring it up to me. I enjoy talking about Snyder Cut. It's very fun.
And sometimes don't bring it up to me, and I'll just start talking to you about it.
I definitely will. If you just tell me that you spent 4 hours and 2 minutes doing something, I'll say, I can think of something better you could have done. But realistically, I would like to say that both our new co-host Mark and my friend Brian here would just like to say thank you to everyone who joined us today. Big thank you to Adrian for supplying the delightful snacks for the day. Yum yum yum. Definitely don't mix both of those together with that. Okay. That's not a good argument because I like cats. It's terrible, but that's not true. It is a terrible movie.
But could you watch the Cats theatrical movie plus the Cats Broadway performance? How long would that take you?
That would take about 6 hours because that Broadway performance is long. But fun story, Dave. I now rewatch Cats every year on Christmas Eve because we went and saw Cats in Christmas Eve in 2019, and then I watched it again in 2020. It was seeing Cats in the movie theater was one of my favorite movie going experiences in quite a long time. Also, I'll take one more dig at the Snyder Cut, I'll track back to it one more time. I do remember, I do actively remember watching that movie opening night and just absolutely losing it, bursting out in laughter at the very beginning of that movie, and just being like, this is insane, this is ridiculous. Jeremy was with me at the time, we walked into the hallway, laughed out loud because of what we saw was so stupid and ridiculous, and then we said, all right, we need to get it together. This movie, we're not going to ruin this movie for anyone else. The movie will ruin it for them. We're not going to be those assholes who snarkily laugh at stuff. We do that. That's why we see movies later. That's why we sit in the back. But like that one, we're like, all right, we're not going to ruin this. It'll ruin itself. So ultimately, you know, movies, whether they're good or bad, who cares? As long as I am entertained while I'm watching it. And honestly, if I feel like talking about it afterwards, good on them. So the sad thing is I talked about Cats as much as I talked about Uncut Gems, and I think Uncut Gems was 100% the best movie I saw in 2019. Technically, I saw it in 2020. Came out in 2019. I saw it New Year's Day on 2020. But yeah, that's the great thing about movies. It doesn't matter if they're good or bad. If you keep talking about them, that's all that matters. So, you know, Cats, Uncut Gems, same level for me.
Uncut Cats.
That's just a pre-neutered, pre-spayed cat. Speaking of which, spay and neuter your animals.
Thank you, Bob Barker.
Hey, doing. But as always, Mark, thank you for hosting with us today. You've been a great special guest. We can't wait to see you in your premiere on the small screen on March 26th, streaming on Prime Video.
Depends on how big your TV is.
That's true. Your TV could be very large. Oh god, the Snyder Cut of Uncut Gems would be so bad. It'd be so bad. I would like to see the Safdie cut of Justice League. That'd be very fun. But as always, with everything on the wall, if you get to the stream late or you just got here and you want to make a request for anything, just wait till it's done and rewind it. But as always, thank you for joining us. If you see anything in front of you here or behind Mark here, please feel free to request it either in the comments section, or you can always email us directly at info@arcanecomicbooks.com. You can get over on social media. We're at Arcane Comics on all things. You can just DM us over there, and we will make sure to take care of those requests as we can. And you can also go to Batman. But yeah, we've got it covered for the week. We will make sure to get some of those rest of those Lovecraft volumes on order for you. And as a direct note to the fields, Scott wanted you to know that we are taking care of your order after the stream. So we will get everything put together, including requests from today, and we will get that ready to go for you. But that is directly from Scott. All right, Brian. It's about that time. We should wrap it up. You and Mark want to hang out some more before you get out of here. You and your good buddy. Cool. All right. Well, don't forget to stay classy. And we'll see everyone real soon. Say goodnight, Brian.
Good night.